Welcome in, everybody. It is the 9th and final game, opening weekend of the 2024 Shriners Children's College Showdown presented by Kubota. 6 teams here this weekend. 5 of them have wins, except the Baylor Bears. Baylor trying to get off the schneid tonight, as they've started the season 0-2, while Tennessee lost a heartbreaker last night, going down in 10 innings to Oklahoma. It's a Big 12 SEC matchup. It's Baylor and Tennessee. Hi, everybody. Welcome back one more time to Globe Life Field, back with a big leaguer. Pat Combs played for the Baylor Bears, had an outstanding career, one of just a few first-rounders all time there in Baylor history. I'm Ben Wilson. Pat, been a struggle so far for the Bears at 0-2. What has to change if they're going to pull off the big upset tonight?
Yeah, it's been a rebuilding deal for Mitch Thompson and the Bears, but you know, they got better talent this year. They got, I think, a better lineup, but they got to produce with runners in scoring position. They've been a little bit, on the wrong side of that deficit here during the tournament, but they get things rolling offensively. It could be interesting tonight.
Well, that's a huge theme for both teams tonight, because Tennessee went 0 for 8 with 4 Ks with runners in scoring position last night. You see the 7th-year head man Tony Vitello for the Vols. A very frustrating night, Pat, from his perspective last night in a 5-1 loss to Oklahoma.
It was. I know that they stuck in there late. It was a 1-1 game, and great pitchers duel. Tremendous defensive plays all over the field last night. But ultimately, it was Oklahoma with the big late inning push in the 10th, scoring those 4 runs. And Tony Vitello, I'm sure, was frustrated with his offense, but had to tip the hats to the OU Sooner pitching staff. They pitched outstanding yesterday. And
has made a couple of changes to his order tonight. It's brought to you by Shriners Children's, the best care anywhere. The big change is Dylan Dreiling moves up in the order. He was hitting 6th to start the weekend. Hit an absolute bomb, Pat, last night, along with a couple of extra base hits. He moves now into the 2-hole tonight for the Tennessee Volunteers. One of the best offenses in the SEC last year, as they take on the senior from Montgomery, Texas, a former JUCO national champion in Jared Matheson, who was a midweek starter last year. Pat, now he gets his opportunity in the weekend rotation for his head coach, Mitch Thompson.
Yeah, Matheson put together a great year last season. Only a 1-1 record, but a 3.89 earned run average over 15 appearances. As you mentioned, Ben did have those 8 starts midweek for the Bears. 39 innings pitched last year, 40 hits, 41 punch-outs, 24 walks. Does get the Sunday nod, and he'll feature a fastball that is a 91-93 curveball changeup, but good arm for the Bears, and he gets the start tonight.
Here's a look at the Baylor defense as well. A couple errors in the field so far. They have turned 2 double plays with a speedy outfield, Wesley Jordan, Ty Johnson, and Enzo Apodaca, while the young infield centered around the third baseman, Hunter Toplansky, who's had a solid start to his season. The young shortstop, Tyree Kemp, along with Mason Greer, in a first start this weekend for Braden Buchanan at first, with Harrison Cayley the battery. Cayley in a preseason battle right now with Cortland Castle for that starting catcher spot. And Cayley gets the nod in 2 of the 3 games for Baylor. The Bears in a couple of tight games. Might be 0-2, Pat, but they've really had opportunities in each of the first 2 contests, losing 4-1 to Nebraska on Friday, then lost 7-4 to Oregon, where they were up 4-0 in that game. And now a really big test. This, on paper at least, the biggest mismatch, but as we have seen throughout the weekend, anything can happen in these early season college baseball games.
That's exactly right. That's why they played on the field, not on paper.
About to see what Jared Matheson has against Tennessee. The first time Baylor's been in the night slot tonight. They've had a couple early wake-up calls. They got to sleep in today. And we are underway, 8:15 Eastern, 7:15 locally here in Arlington, as Matheson pumps in the first pitch strike. A guy who finished really well down the stretch, Pat, in his 15 appearances, 8 starts. This fastball just low and outside. Final 3 appearances for Matheson last year, 2 earned in 16 1/3 innings, 3 walks to 16 strikeouts, and got his first win of his career in his final appearance last year against Tarleton State in a midweek.
Yeah, Matheson with solid command, and really one of those pitchers that's very comfortable in his skin and doesn't try to overthrow and overdo his stuff, just really pitches within himself.
After missing with a couple fastballs, the 2-1 is sliced the other way. Apodaca has a beat off the bat of Hunter Ensley, and the catch is made. Good start for Matheson. Baylor's come out pretty well early. You think about the opening day game, Pat didn't give up a run for 5 innings and had the 4-0 lead. It's been good starts for the pitching staff, and defense just been tough for them to play a full 9 innings.
Yeah, no doubt. Mason Marriott with a great start for the Bears on Friday. Then Colin McKinney with one yesterday for the Bears. And starting pitching's been solid. It's a question for the Bears is the depth of the bullpen. They've added quite a few quality arms to that pen, but now it's just a matter of them producing and executing here on the mound, especially late in games.
Good fastball pumped in at 92 miles an hour to Dylan Dreiling, who hit one over the right center bullpen last night. 430 feet, hit 2 balls over 110 miles an hour off the bat. As he takes a called strike and a changeup to go down 0-2. He was really the only offense, though, for Tennessee, which was the big issue. Bounces well in front of the plate. And Dreiling, you understand why head coach Tony Vitello moves him up. Not afraid to make a couple shakeups in the lineup. Cannon Peebles and Blake Burke each dropped a couple spots in the order, and Dreiling is a guy who benefits. Fastball. This is just outside on 1-2.
Yeah, Dreiling, a toolsy player across the board, and saw that great catch he made to left field yesterday on the heels of that home run. Just a great athlete.
Fouls off the 2-2. I'm sure Tony Vitello also looking for his team to just down the whole dugout provide some energy, some life here tonight. And so many Vol fans made the trip down from Knoxville, but with the late start tonight, good amount of those fans had to head home today. This fastball misses just outside, so not quite the amount of juice we had here last night. Totally understandable, late Sunday night game.
Well, the players will bring the juice today, that's for sure. Big games for both teams. Tennessee trying to get back on track into the win column and leave Arlington, Texas with a 2-1 record, and Baylor looking for that first win.
This one spanked pretty well to center, but Ty Johnson is all over it. Back-to-back fly ball outs for Jared Matheson as he goes right after Dylan Dreiling.
Yeah, plenty of motivation for both teams tonight.
We've seen this happen in the past too, Pat, where teams come in, they're viewed as long shots to make the NCAA tournament, even from a Power 5 conference, and they have so much to prove, right? Coming out saying, hey, we are not going to be pushovers this year. And for Baylor and Mitch Thompson, they felt like even if we could do whatever it took to just get one win this week, that curveball forcing Christian Moore to duck out of the way. Just one win could do so much for an RPI that finished outside the top 150 last year.
Yeah, no doubt. And Baylor loading their schedule up. We had a little fun with Mitch Thompson on Friday. Just the toughest schedule rated by D1 baseball for the first 50 games or first 25 games of the season.
It's a 2-0 count to Christian Moore. This is a big reason why, facing a really good Tennessee team that has gone to 3 straight supers, 2 trips to Omaha in that 3-year span. And Moore is expected to fill a big hole at short as Maui Ahuna is a round 4 draft pick last season. Moore sliding over from second to short in the offseason. He takes a fastball just low, a 4-pitch walk to give Tennessee its first base runner of the night.
You're not the guy you want to walk. A couple of outs, a couple of quick outs from Matheson, but just lost command there. 4 straight pitches to Christian Moore. Moore obviously with big power at the plate, but can also run well.
And it's an opportunity now for a guy who loves playing in this ballpark, Dalton Bargo. The Mizzou transfer who had a huge tournament here last year. Mizzou is that classic team. Mizzou is kind of the Baylor of last year as he takes a fastball inside, not expected to do much. And Mizzou made some strides last year, ultimately fell short of the NCAA tournament, but they went 2-1 here. They walked off Texas and they beat TCU in extra innings. And Bargo is a big reason why. He was noticed by the former Missouri Tiger Tony Vitello and got him to transfer to Knoxville. And he gets his first start now in game number 3, taking a fastball outside and works himself into a 2-0 count.
Yeah, 6 in a row for Matheson, and good time for Cayley to visit the mound and give his starting pitcher a breath. You sometimes see that, get those 2 quick outs and then just kind of lose focus for a moment. Well, you can't do that with this Tennessee Volunteer lineup. They will make you pay for mental lapses.
No question. Mitch Thompson looking on from the dugout. Bargo was at the plate as a pinch hitter last night, but while he was up, Dreiling was caught stealing. So he didn't actually get a chance to swing the bat at all, and he takes another fastball outside. Did get in as a pinch hitter each of the first 2 games, but now gets the start as the DH in the cleanup spot. Taking all the way, and that's a fastball that catches the inside edge, snaps that 7-ball streak. With Moore at first, guy who stole 16 bases in 18 attempts last year.
Yeah, see if Tony V puts Christian Moore in motion here. Bears thinking the same thing. 3-1 count. Sure would like to get him in scoring position with a couple of outs here for Dalton Bargo.
He is on the move. Big swing and a miss. Throw down is through everybody. Good job, though, to back up by Ty Johnson, and Tyreek Kemp, his glove kind of kept Christian Moore down in the bag long enough, so he didn't think about trying to take third. And it's a 3-2 count.
Yeah, throw from Cayley low. Kemp tries to dig it out. I think even if he does make the catch, probably doesn't get Moore. Yeah, throw skips off into center field, but Moore does not advance, so no error on the play. Just a stolen base for Christian Moore.
And I figure for Moore, I mean, any hit to the outfield, he's scoring with ease with his speed. 3-2, drill down the right field line, but hooking foul. Was scalded 102 off the bat by Bargo. Who hit 279 for Mizzou last year, slugged almost 450. So a natural fit is a lefty slugger for a Tennessee team that was third in the SEC in both slugging percentage and long balls last year.
Well, Matheson tried to come back inside with that fastball, and Bargo sitting all over it. Had home run distance, but well foul.
Another 3-2. Swing and a miss on a changeup in the dirt. It's bobbled a little bit, but then collected by Cayley. He did well to stay with that play and throws Bargo out by a step. We'll set the stage for Xander Sechrist on the mound for Tennessee, bringing the Baylor lineup next.
Watch me. Watch me grapple, move, and pin. When I hit the mat, don't underestimate the grin. I've got state championships and medals to show, but it's about more than just winning. This you should know. Overcoming odds through therapy and care. The road was long. Now opponents beware. Watch me. Game-changing sports medicine at Shriners Children's. The most amazing care anywhere.
Protecting what matters most is the mission that matters most. At Lockheed Martin, we know today's threats come from behind, above, and below, and we make sure those who serve stay ahead of them by connecting platforms necessary to dominate every domain across air, land, sea, space, and cyber, using technologies that protect in the same moment they detect. The mission is a safer, more secure world. Our promise is to help make it happen.
Globe Life Field is your home for college baseball with 3 full weekends of action starting February 16th at the home of the Texas Rangers. It all starts with the Shriners Children's College Showdown presented by Kubota, featuring Baylor, Texas Tech, Oklahoma, Oregon, Tennessee, and Nebraska. Next is the Kubota College Baseball Series with Arkansas, Oklahoma State, Michigan, and Oregon State in weekend 2, and TCU, Texas A&M, Arizona State, and USC for weekend 3. To get tickets and learn more, visit globelifefield.com/collegebaseball.
Here's a look at the second-year head man Mitch Thompson back in Waco after serving for 18 seasons as the Bears hitting coach. 3 of those years he was assistant head coach, and now back for the Bears trying to rebuild a program. Won 20 games last year after serving 10 seasons as the McLennan JUCO head coach, where he won a national title. And this, Pat Combs, is how he sets up his starting lineup, brought to you by Shriners Children's. The best care anywhere. They slide up Hunter Simmons, Hunter Toplansky, Wesley Jordan, Mason Greer up a spot. Those were 3 through 6 to start the weekend. Now they go 2 through 5. And Apodaca and Simmons in particular have had really nice starts to this weekend.
Yeah, sure have. Both swinging the bat well. Simmons with a couple of deep balls in this ballpark, and Do it again tonight.
Do it against the talented lefty Xander Sechrist from Buford, Georgia, the senior who is the most experienced starter on the roster behind ace Drew Beam, who we saw last night. A guy who pitched a lot in the midweek over the past couple seasons, now gets his first chance at a Sunday start in 2024.
Yeah, he's been one of the more effective Tennessee starters past 3 seasons. He's pitched 83 innings, has a sterling 1.95 ERA in the past 3 years. A little bit of a funky delivery, but he'll feature the high 80s fastball, curveball, slider, and changeup.
See that slider all the way down to 69 miles an hour, can really slow up the bat speed.
And I think we saw that glove last night. That was part of that triple play back in the 7th inning of the Oklahoma game. So now we know who the culprit was. I had to give up his glove last night.
You don't get many teal, light blue type gloves. There's another slow slider, catches the zone for a called strike, 2-2. I can't wait to ask Coach Vitello about that. He'll join us top of the next inning. This one's hit hard back up the middle. And a leadoff single for Enzo Apodaca. He's had a lot of good ABs and some good plays in the field. Just hadn't been rewarded really, Pat. 1 for 7 to start his Baylor career. And the Gonzaga transfer is on board.
Yeah, got a pitch elevated in the zone and squares it up right back up the middle. Good start for the Bears offense. Yeah, Sechrist falls behind the count and belt high fastball, and Apodaca straightens it out. Yeah, the glove that we're referring to, that's the glove now that obviously it's Xander Sechrist's glove, but last night Chris Stamos, his glove was thrown out of the game by the umpiring crew. We don't really understand what happened there. It might have been a discolor of the glove, maybe some light pieces on it, but anyway, that glove was disqualified, and this glove came out of the dugout. And that was the glove that Chris Stamos used to nab the popped bunt attempt by the Sooners last night. Turned into a triple play.
Part of a unbelievable night of defense as Hunter Simmons steps in, takes a 87-mile-an-hour pitch just high. First triple play for Tennessee since 1997. They turned last night. We were all wondering, yeah, where did that glove come from? Okay, turns out it was, well, it makes sense, right? Because it was a lefty on the mound. You needed, you know, a pitcher's glove for a left-handed thrower. And a guy who would not be in the bullpen, so it makes sense that it was Sechrist when you do the retrospective deep dive on it, Pat.
Yeah, that's an easy glove to spot. You can't miss that one.
Hunter Simmons has had a good weekend, takes a called strike on a change right on the outside edge. Really, it's been the top of the order that's done a lot of damage with Simmons and Mason Greer in particular. Those two have combined, along with Ty Johnson, for 9 hits.
Yeah, Simmons with a triple yesterday, double on Friday.
And Johnson had been batting in the 2-hole. He slides down to the 6th spot tonight, really more just to give some better balance to the Baylor lineup. Inside as that fastball runs a little bit in, and it is 2-2. You have Apodaca, a guy who, even on a Gonzaga team that didn't run all that much, he only stole 6 bases in 8 attempts, but that did tie for the team lead. Also tied for the team lead with 3 triples last year. A guy with good speed at first, part of a regional team in 2022. Hammered into the gap off the bat of Simmons. Extra bases, and watch Apodaca fly. He's around third and will score without a throw. Hunter Simmons stays hot as Baylor strikes first.
Yeah, a great swing by Hunter Simmons. He's done it all weekend, does it again tonight here to open the frame. Get Baylor on the board first against the Volunteers, and got a pitch that's elevated up in the zone, and nice swing by Simmons. Lets that ball travel deep. Crushes it to right center, left center make it. No doubt double for Simmons, and the Bears on the board.
4th hit of the week, 3rd extra base hit for Hunter Simmons. Couple doubles and a triple. For the second straight game, Baylor as an underdog gets off to a fast start. As Hunter Toplansky digs in, takes a called strike on the outside edge. At 4-0 in that game against Oregon. It was really the 5th and 6th innings that got away from the Bears, gave up 3 in each of those frames. Big swing and a miss by Toplansky. It's really not the speed that gets you from Zekrist, it's the deception. He's topping out at 88. That's the fastest he's thrown a fastball so far. You don't get a 1.95 ERA by accident, though, Pat.
No doubt. No, he's got great stuff. That's never been a question about the stuff. The velo, sits upper 80s. He's not going to blow you away with the velo, but just what he knows how to pitch. Uses that 4-pitch mix really well and showed great command. As you mentioned, Ben, it's 195 earned run averages don't come easy.
Missed outside with the fastball, now goes down low on a change, and it's 2-2 to Toplansky, who has a lot of pop. Tied for the team lead with 6 homers last year, the TCU transfer.
Yeah, one of only 3 Bears in the lineup that played consistently for Baylor last year. Of course, Simmons, previous hitter at second base. Toplansky and Harrison Cayley, the catcher, in the lineup. A lot of new faces for Baylor this year. Turned over about half the roster, and 8 freshmen, 6 JUCO transfers, and 6 additions from the portal. Toplansky, the lone infielder, held over from last season.
Takes a fastball just high on 2-2. It's a big reason why. Really hard to truly handicap where this Baylor team would be. You understand why they're further down in the preseason polls, 11th out of the 13 teams in the Big 12, but you kind of expect that until a team proves it, right? And so many new pieces from both the JUCO and general transfer ranks. Mitch Thompson likes what he has as Toplansky takes a curveball down and in, and the shaky start for Zekrist continues. Yet to record an out. The first 3 reach for Baylor.
Yeah, no panic by Tony Vitello or Frank Anderson out of that Tennessee bull dugout. Anderson on the left there of Tony V, wearing the black hoodie.
Opportunity, though, for Baylor to really do some damage early, with Zekrist trying to find his footing, although a nice first pitch slider finds the zone, taken by Wesley Jordan, looking for his first hit of the weekend. 0 for 5 so far as he slides up from the 5-hole to the 4-hole. That's where he started this weekend at. He takes a fastball outside. And you think about the type of guy that Mitch Thompson got in the transfer portal. It's players like Jordan who can provide a whole lot of pop. This is a Baylor team in desperate need of that. They were last in the Big 12 in most categories, and Jordan, right on cue, hits one deep to left center. A long run and a sliding catch. Ensley got over into the gap to make the play for the first out of the inning. Simmons able to tag from second to third, but easily could have scored 2 had that ball dropped.
Yeah, outstanding play by Hunter Ensley, and he had covered a ton of ground in center field to make this catch. That ball just with a jolt in it from the bat of Wesley Jordan. That had double or triple written all over it, and beautiful diving catch by Ensley on the backhand side, and smart base running at second base by Hunter Simmons. He actually kind of held the bag, thinking that Ensley might make that catch. Even if he doesn't, he could score from that position, but he did tag up and move over to third base. The Bears with runners at the corners with 1 out.
You could tell on the face of Wesley Jordan, he knew he just missed it, but still with the placement, it took a really nice play by Ensley to track it down. And now Mason Greer, who's been arguably the best hitter so far for Baylor this weekend, he digs in, takes a first pitch slider on the outside edge. Had a solo homer yesterday, 3 for his first 8.
Yeah, Greer has been outstanding in his Baylor debut. Of course, a familiar face for Mitch Thompson. Played for Mitch at McLennan Junior College there in Waco. Moves just down the street into a Baylor uniform.
He and tonight's starting pitcher Jared Matheson were on that same McLennan team. Each won a national title in 2021. And Greer had an interesting career at Missouri State. He went to the Bears 2 years ago and was amazing. Missouri Valley Conference Tournament MVP. That team went to a loaded Stillwater Regional that year, won one game before being bounced. And then it never really clicked last year for Greer. He only hit .235 and just 2 homers, but getting a new opportunity, coming back with a familiar coach. And here he was not ready to go in the box with 8 on the pitch clock, so had to take a strike.
Yeah, clock violation on the hitter. So a couple of strikes now on Greer.
A fake pickoff play at first, going to third. Hunter Simmons like a beached whale over there. He's a little slow to get back, but he's good to go.
A little tricky move there by Sechrist. Stepped off, faked the throw to first, and quickly wheeled to third base.
Fastball outside. You don't see many of these anymore. That was pretty good.
Yeah, just trying to catch Simmons napping, and that's a set play from Tennessee, and between Sechrist and Billy Amick, his third baseman. Good time play there. It's a time pick.
Fouls off the 1-2. Certainly at the big league level now, with the not only the pitch clock but the maximum of 2 throwovers. You hardly ever see that anymore in those first and third situations, since it tends not to work. But in the college baseball, where you still have those unlimited pickoffs, it can be a useful tool.
Well, big at bat for Greer and the Bears. Chance to add to that lead. And
chops one to the left side. Moore, the flip to Laurie. The turn is not in time. Greer just beats it out on that slow chopper to the left side, and Baylor gets a second run home.
yeah, it looked like a for sure double play ball for Tennessee, and really good turn there between Moore and Laurie, and just not in time. Greer doesn't look the part, but really has some decent wheels and got out of the box quick. Yeah, it looked like an easy 6-4-3, and Greer just beats it. Zach Dillon, first base coach of the Bears, trying to help first base umpire Matt McKendry get that call right. Well, that was awfully close.
Yeah, you're right. And just the way that first hop kind of hung up, maybe a little bit higher than you'd expect. The way Greer sort of tomahawked it into the turf, but that was a difference, and Simmons comes home on the fielder's choice. Now Ty Johnson a little further down in the order, but not because of any struggle so far. He's 3 for 9, putting together some good ABs as he takes a called strike.
Yeah, Mitch Thompson playing some matchup baseball here with the left-hander Sechrist.
Showing bunt. Tough play as Sechrist comes off the mound, and the throw gets away. On the lefty-lefty matchup, Baylor catches Tennessee off guard, and the runners end up at second and third on the throwing error by Sechrist.
Well, they're going to call runner's interference on Johnson.
Oh, wow.
Running inside
a late call,
the line. So immediately called by Blake Felix.
Instead of second and third, and the inning continuing, Mitch Thompson will see his team's threat come to an end after scoring 2 runs. He's already come out to the mound, out to the field of play, and wants a word here with Blake Felix, our home plate umpire.
Yeah, Felix signaled it immediately after the throw went inside the line, and of course Blake Burke could not make the play. But that is going to be the call. That call will stand. Ty Johnson out on runner's interference.
Here's a look as we go to break. And it's Baylor who are called out after scoring 2 runs. To the second inning we go. An early 2-0 lead for the Baylor Bears on top of Tennessee as head coach Tony Vitello from the Vols joins us right now. A tough start for your lefty Xander Sechrist. What are you seeing early out of him?
Yeah, good swings by Baylor. A couple two-strike adjustments that were beneficial to them, and it's his first go-around on the road as a starter, and also his first start on a weekend. So maybe he'll settle in a little bit after the first inning.
Yeah, Tony, tough game yesterday. Outstanding game. I mean, just great plays all over the field. Of course, guys on the losing end of that. But what did you tell your players after the game to prepare them for this game today?
You know, I mean, first of all, last night's game is going to get us better one way or another. But all you can do is show up to the park today and realize you can win the series. And each team is different, obviously, in this little tournament. But when you go into a weekend against great competition, the goal is to win 2 out of 3.
As we start this bottom of the second, one more for you, Coach, with the defense last night. I mean, it was something special to see. You turn the first triple play in 27 years in the program. I know the hitting obviously left something to be desired with runners in scoring position, but what do you make of the gloves out in the field last night? Yeah,
it's a question mark every year when the season starts because we're pretty hard on them in practice defensively. And
well, his ball's tagged pretty well, and extra. Oh, is that caught in the field?
He caught it.
Wow, he did. Oh, man. Takes a hit away from your guy, from Billy Amick, Coach. It's the second time he's been robbed in the last 2 nights.
Yeah, he's putting good swings on the ball, so we'll take that over the course of time. I think it'll work out for him. But the defense you mentioned with our team and every other team here is indicative of the talent that's here, and then also some of these coaches have been around the blocks since I was a player, and some of the best ones ever in college baseball are here.
No doubt. Coach, we certainly appreciate the time all weekend. I really appreciate it. Best of luck here the rest of the way.
Thank you, guys. Take care.
Man, Billy Amick. I mean, Pat, what are you going to do? What a play by Ty Johnson. I thought for sure that was getting down. You see the top of the wall there get dislodged here. They had to go readjust it.
Yeah, he hit that padding hard with his head and his shoulder, but what a play by Ty Johnson. We have seen some outstanding plays all weekend. A couple of great diving plays in the outfield yesterday between the Sooners and the Volunteers, and tonight maybe the best running catch we've seen all weekend. Ty Johnson stealing at least a double off the bat of Billy Amick.
It was Kendall Pettis last night who made a full diving catch in left on the run. That was to his right, the left fielder. And Billy Amick, the transfer from Clemson, going, what do I got to do? Now, he had a huge game on Friday in the season opener, but that's 2 extra base hits he's been robbed of. And a fastball that misses outside now to Peebles.
Yeah, Coach Vitello said it right, though. I mean, you keep swinging the bat like that, it's bound to fall at some point. I'm sure that was a message to Amick in the dugout. Hey, you just keep swinging it.
3-0. Peebles taking all the way, and it's ball 4. Matheson has been good so far, but command a little bit spotty at times. And were it not for that great play made by Johnson, he'd be in a world of trouble right now. Brings up Blake Burke, who started this weekend hitting in the 2-hole, and a new look for him after struggling to start the weekend. He moves down to the 7th spot, having gone 1 for 10 so far. And takes that first pitch just down out of the zone on a change.
Look, a good pitch that may have caught the bottom of the zone, but Haley popped up there pretty quick, the Baylor catcher. Not sure if Blake Felix just had a good look at that pitch.
This one in there for a strike. I'm sure the perspective of pitchers when you're facing Tennessee, any sign where you're thinking you might be getting squeezed, you're feeling you've already got it tough enough, taking on such a good lineup. Really fooled Burke there coming up and in as he fouls it off 1-2.
Yeah, kind of a defensive swing there by Burke.
He's looking to get him on track. Struggled in SEC play last year, hitting .211, 1 for 10 so far, but has as much raw power as anybody. And is rung up. Fastball catches the inside edge at 94 as Matheson reached back for a little extra.
Yeah, good pitch there by Matheson. Got back into the count with Burke and six that fastball down and away. Nice frame by Harrison Cayley, and the Bears get the big strikeout. Out number 2 in the inning.
Kind of set him up inside, and then Burke maybe looking in that direction, freezes him up. Second out recorded by Matheson, who faces Bradkey Laurie, moves up a spot in the order from the number 9 hole to number 8 now tonight. Taken again just outside the zone. 1 and 0 there on Laurie. And Laurie digs in. He's looking for his first hit of the weekend, 0 for 5, but he's had a couple good at-bats, working a pair of walks. And that bottom of the order is like a second leadoff man and takes this pitch low and outside. 2-0.
That's what Laurie brings to the plate. Tough to pitch to with that smaller stature, and has a good eye for the plate. But that does have some pop.
Really good season at the JUCO level last couple of years. The fastball runs inside. It was a guy who won a JUCO World Series title at College of Central Florida. And with that eye at the plate, that small zone, not surprising, you get a lot of favorable counts, and he has one here, 3-0, with Kavaris Tears waiting on deck. Just catching the outside edge on 3-0 with the fastball.
Well, the stuff from Matheson certainly has been good. It's kept these volunteer hitters off balance, but it's just a spotty command. It's been kind of self-inflicted damage here.
He has yet to give up a base hit, but that's 3 walks already for Matheson. As Laurie reaches with 2 outs and a chance for Kavaris Tears, who started in the opener, didn't play last night. But trying to snap that drought. Tennessee 0 for their last 9 now with runners in scoring position going back to last night. 5 strikeouts in that span as Tears trying to forge away into the everyday lineup for Tony Vitello's club. The guy who was a really useful backup last season, hit over 300, but didn't get a ton of starts a season ago.
Well, big situation for Tears, and got a lot of tools.
It goes the opposite way. A long drive that sends Jordan back. It's gone. Kavaris Tears delivers with a 3-run bomb.
Yeah, Tony Vitello said for Kavaris Tears this season, if he can cut the swings and misses down, he's going to be a powerful player in this lineup, and certainly did not miss that time. It's the fastball center cut from Matheson and delivers an opposite field bomb over the Choctaw Casinos and Resorts sign in left field, and just like that, the Volunteers erase the 2-0 Baylor lead in one swing.
It's the danger of losing command, right, Pat? You walk 3, and the first hit you give up, it's a big one. A little pop-up on the infield off the bat of Ensley. It's a call and a catch for Greer. And Matheson gets out of it, but the first hit of the game is a big one. Kavaris Tears, the number 9 hole hitter, trying to prove he's got a spot in the everyday lineup, and he does so with a big 3-run bomb as we take a look at some highlights from last night's game between Tennessee and Oklahoma. It's the nightcap on day 2 of the 2024 Shriners Children's College Showdown. Oklahoma out of the Big 12 against Tennessee. First pitch drilled by Amick, a long run and a beautiful catch. Kendall Pettis absolutely mashes one to right center. You can forget about it. Home run for Dreiling as the Vols strike back. Another good move, and they got him. They're 2-2. Swing and a miss. Burke expecting bunts. He shows, and it's a diving attempt. Wow, it's caught. A double play. And they can get all 3.
How about a
they get all 3. Shot to the left side. Moore has to hurry, makes a strong throw to get the fast-running Pettis. Punches it to the left side. Long run for Dreiling. Can't get there. It's off his glove. Oklahoma takes the lead on an RBI double by John Spikerman. Chop to the left side. Long run for more. He can't get there. One run is in. Carmichael scores, and it's another big knock for Garza Gongor to make it 5-1. Oh, and that does it. Oklahoma wins the marathon as they use a 4-run 10th inning to bounce back from a bitter defeat last night and take down top 10 Tennessee. We had a little bit of fun last night, didn't we, Pat? I know it was to the detriment of Tennessee head coach Tony Vitello, but what a game and part of a tremendous weekend where every single game has gone, for the most part, down to the wire.
Yeah, no doubt. The competition this weekend is everything that we hoped and thought it would be, and certainly delivered last night by Oklahoma and Tennessee. What a matchup of future SEC opponents. But OU representing the Big 12. Big 12 picked up his second win of the tournament with that win yesterday. Things have kind of started to even out for the Big 12.
It has. Texas Tech, Oregon, Oklahoma all finished 2-1. Nebraska finishes 1-2, and Tennessee with a win tonight would go to 2-1. Baylor, though, with a win would get their first after dropping the opening 2 games, as Braden Buchanan, making his season debut, takes a called strike on a slider after a first pitch ball. A long way to go here tonight. 3-2 game. See if Xander Sechrist settles down in his second inning of work. Gave the first 3 batters a couple of base hits and a walk. Each of those first 2 that reached for Baylor scored in that bottom of the first. A slow slider in there. It's around that 69-70 mile an hour on the velocity for Sechrist as he faces the bottom of the Baylor order.
Yeah, 27 pitch first inning for Sechrist, and
nice pitch there, though.
Yeah, good pitch there. Make it 32 pitches now, but he'll take the strikeout to start the inning against Buchanan, and that's exactly what Tony Vitello's looking for Sechrist, just to settle into this game now that Tennessee has the 3-2 lead.
He gets Buchanan to wave and miss at that fastball. It only sits 86 to 88 or so, but the way he hides it is really effective. Gets the K as Tyreek Kemp digs in. We talked earlier, Pat, about how Baylor has had really good production from the top half in general of the lineup. They're just looking for some more consistency out of a lot of young guys now, unproven at the bottom of the order. And Tyreek Kemp, who was brought in this year for defense, one of those guys. And hey, right on cue, Tyreek Kemp, a missile off the bat and a base hit for Kemp as he picks up his first hit as a Baylor Bear.
Well, throw that ball out for him. And
I guess we spoke it into existence. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, shortstop from the Netherlands, and he picks up his first hit as a Baylor Bear and does it off of Xander Sechrist. Fastball that was up in the zone, and Kemp just went with the pitch. Good job of staying behind that fastball.
And when Kemp is able to reach, guy who has tremendous speed, they love his defense coming in. The called strikes taken by Cayley.
Now Sechrist, as you mentioned, Ben, fastball sits 86 to 89, and he'll touch 90 at times. Again, doesn't light the radar gun up, but catchers for the Volunteers will tell you that, you know, it's a heavy pitch. It's got a lot of movement to it. I'm talking about his fastball, and you know, hitters will also tell you there's guys that throw fast, and when you make contact, especially on the barrel, that ball can get straightened out back pretty quick. But occasionally run into these pitchers that just have a hard, heavy fastball.
Well, they pick off the runner Kemp, and he is out. Well, that lefty move by Sechrist got Kemp leaning. We knew there was a lot of speed there, and Kemp maybe a bit overzealous after his first career hit gets nabbed.
And there's that good move from Sechrist, and Kemp looks like he was stealing first movement. Yeah, he took off right when Sechrist lifted that leg, and looked like he would have been safe. But the tag applied by Moore, he kept it on him, and that was a great tag by Moore as Kemp came off the bag, sliding by it.
Tennessee group that led the SEC in pickoffs last year. They had one last night. And as Cannon Peebles looks at his pitcher, golf shot out to left, long run for Dreiling, looks up and it's gone. Harrison Cayley hits it just over the left field wall, and Baylor responds with a solo homer.
Well, how How big is that pickoff now of Kemp? Would have been a 2-run bomb, and Haley will take the solo, but this will off the bat of the Baylor catcher, Harrison Cayley. Like a breaking ball breaking down and in, and he just dropped the bat head and caught it square. Just sneaks over the fence in left field, and just a slider that catches too much of the plate from Sechrist, and kind of a get-me-over tumbling slider. Didn't have the bite on it. Cayley puts a charge into it.
And the offense from Baylor, a huge source of concern last season. Lowest average on base, slugging percentages, runs, a whole lot of other categories as well in the Big 12. No need to belabor the point. Baylor really struggled putting runs on the board, but Cayley is the 9-hole hitter going yard, and it's a 1-1 count to Enzo Apodaca. Not a bad way to pick up your first hit of the season. As we get another look at the home run.
Yeah, just a charge by Cayley, and not considered a home run hitter by any means in the Baylor lineup, but catches that one square.
A little slider outside on Apodaca, and it's 3-1. As Coach Tony Vitello told us last inning, first time Sechrist has started outside of Knoxville. As Apodaca puts a charge into this ball, but Dreiling does have room this time and makes the catch. Balls flying out on a Sunday in Arlington. We've had a ton of them already today. Each team has hit one. Now it's Harrison Cayley who knocks us up at 3. Now look at some of the plaques outside the old stadium where the Rangers used to play. It's now called Choctaw Stadium, so a lot of events, concerts take place there, and we're now inside at beautiful Globe Life Field. You saw the plaque for Rusty Greer, whose son Mason, a hitter for the Baylor Bears, and so many connections all weekend, Pat, between the present and the past. Guys with Ranger connections here. We'll talk to a couple former Rangers coming up a little bit in the booth, and such a cool part of history. Some of those names, Adrian Beltre, and our guy Chuck Morgan, of course.
Yeah,
we got to give a shout out to him as the PA announcer, has a special office here inside Globe Life Field, and what a great tournament it's been all weekend.
No doubt. Recent Hall of Fame selection, Adrian Beltre, and congratulations to him and the Rangers. World Series champions, first time in team history. This will be a ballpark that will get filled quite a number of dates throughout the season when the Rangers return to action here in April.
It certainly will. And as we get a new pitcher for the Baylor Bears, Kobe Andrade, have to give a shout out on the Tennessee side of things, as long as we're talking Hall of Fame, because the Vols got one of their own inducted, Todd Helton, the Todd father, just inducted back in January after an unbelievable run with the Colorado Rockies over 17 years. So really making the Tennessee baseball community proud. Helton, the Hall of Famer, and we're back out here. 3-3 game to the third inning. Kind of figured it would be a whole lot of arms tonight for Baylor, emptying out the cage, so to speak. And after Jared Matheson goes 2 innings, had a little control issues, it is Andrade now who comes in. Kobe Andrade, the third-year senior and Texas A&M transfer.
Andrade came into the program as a two-way player. Really is now solely focused on pitching, and the Bears think there'll be some improvements here. Good breaking ball there shown to strike out Dylan Dreiling here to start the third.
He makes quick work of Dreiling.
Sure did. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night with 3 pitches. And James Leverton, the Baylor pitching coach, says that he feels like he'll benefit from just focusing on pitching this year. Had a rough go of it last year in 3 appearances for the Bears, but good start tonight here against the Vols.
With that lefty curve coming in. A guy who started at A&M, 7 appearances as a freshman, then had a good spell, started 9 games as a sophomore. Just the hitting never really followed suit. Kind of struggled at the plate. He hit 185 last year as he falls behind 2-0 to Christian Moore. 3-0 now. You tend to underrate just how hard it is to be a successful two-way player, especially when you're talking about a Power 5 conference like the Big 12.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, Andrade now with a 3-pitch strikeout to Dreiling, and now a 4-pitch walk to Moore. Fastball sits upper 80s. He'll touch 90, but traditional 3-pitch mix, curveball, changeup. Bears have struggled tonight, pitching now 4th walk on the evening. Just 2 1/3 innings.
Something you usually don't get away with against a team like Tennessee. As Andrade digs in against Dalton Bargo. The 9th pitcher now that Baylor has used this weekend. He just misses a little bit upstairs, 1-0. Good look at Bargo in his first start of the year. Struck out ending the first inning. Chops one to the right side. Moore had to wait for it to clear, but it's through for a base hit, and Bargo has his first knock as a member of the Vols. And now a bad throw that gets all the way to the edge of the Tennessee dugout. Not sure what was going on there on the infield pat with Baylor, because that play was basically over, but just a careless throw back in. It allows Bargo to take second. Moore goes to third.
Apodaca with the bad throw, not towards the back, kind of an in-betweener, but I think he was trying to locate the cutoff player, and Tariq Kemp was not in the right position at the shortstop and tried to throw all the way through to Plansky at third base and short hopped him and got by him, and that'll be a 2-base throwing error with Moore advancing to third and Bargo advancing to second.
Eliminates the force now for Billy Amick, who just tattooed a ball his first time up that was snagged in center by Ty Johnson, and he's ahead 1-0.
Yeah, that's the kind of play that just makes your head coach go nuts in the dugout, thinking just exactly where you were trying to throw that ball.
Another rocket by Amick, this one into the upper deck foul, 104 miles an hour off the bat. It could have been worse too. I mean, that ball, it nestled up against the dugout netting, easily could have gone all the way in, and you would have been talking about Bargo ending up at third and Moore scoring all the way from first on that play. Still at second and third. A hard hit foul ball, and the 3rd error in 3 games for Baylor. The team really looking to take a step forward, not only on the mound but also defensively.
Just so many free bases so far by this Baylor pitching staff, and now the error on top of that. 4 walks, and now the error. That ball's drilled.
Amick with a hard drive. It's off the wall and takes a crazy carom in the corner as Amick charges for 3. Both Moore and Bargo are in, and Billy Amick, robbed on his previous 2 shots to the outfield, finally has extra bases.
Well, I mean, puts a charge into that pitch, and ball down and in. Just missed being a home run by a couple of feet, high up off that wall. 334 sign just off that SeatGeek emblem. And a tough carom for Wesley Jordan out left field. By the time he gets to it, Amick has a triple with 2 RBI.
That exact same carom just happened in our previous game. As Peebles takes a fastball in for a strike. It is really hard when you're not familiar with the contours to play that correctly. And it happened in the outfield last game. Kind of Crazy to see that, Pat. Basically an hour and a half later, same exact result on a triple.
Well, Amick takes the coaching well. We just talked about him heading back to the dugout, having been robbed twice in 2 days with outstanding catches in the outfield. And he says, well, let's see if they can catch one high off the wall here
Yeah, there you go.
Globe Life Field Park.
Fastball up high, and it's 2-1. To Cannon Peebles, who walked and scored last inning. A rocket foul, as you have the 2 big transfers coming in. With Amick, the Clemson transfer, Peebles from NC State. As you having to replace 3 guys from the starting lineup last year, had 8 draft picks. As it's fouled back. 4 of those draft picks in the top 7. But a case of reloading, not rebuilding for Tennessee. At least that's the thought process coming in. They're still projected to be a team favored to, at the very least, host a regional, if not go back to a super for a 4th straight year, as this pitch just misses outside on 2-2. Full count to Peebles. A guy like Cannon Peebles, a big reason why Tennessee feels like they've got the tools to reload once again. High fly to center, plenty deep, with 1 out to score Amick, as it's brought in by Johnson. And Tennessee tacks on another run, a 3-spot for the 2nd straight inning, as they make it 6-3.
Well, Peebles does exactly what he was looking to do, just get a ball high out to the outfield. Try to advance Amick from 3rd base, does the job there, plenty deep. Ty Johnson making the catch. Amick scoring easily. Now a 3-run lead for the Volunteers, and they are taking advantage of Baylor mistakes all the way around.
Peebles' first RBI is a member of the Vols. Another hot shot, but this one fielded by Buchanan, who backed up and is able to make the play on Blake Burke to retire the side. 3 more, though, come home for Tennessee as we go to the home half of the 3rd. Coach Mitch Thompson joins us next from the Baylor dugout. Baylor coach Mitch Thompson joins us as we go to the bottom of the 3rd. 6-3 Tennessee on top of the Bears. Coach, you got the heart of the order coming up here. Really good start to the year for Hunter Simmons. What do you make of your leadoff guy here this inning and what he's been able to show at the plate?
Yeah, Hunter's he's a veteran hitter, and he's starting the season off swinging the bat like a veteran hitter ought to swing it. So I'm real proud of where he's going right now.
Hey, Mitch, a lot of new faces in the roster, but what do you like so far about some of the newcomers?
Well, we've got fight in us. There's no question. You know, I mean, I like. I think our lineup's going to be good when we get it rolling, but we're not quite there yet. But we're doing some good things. I mean, you know, I think there's guys that have shown growth. Harrison Cayley's, you know, hitting the home runs. A senior guy that didn't play a whole lot last year. You know, he just continues to get better, and I'm real proud of stuff like that. You know, when you see guys improving and getting opportunities, it's great to see.
Yeah, Mitch, last question for you. Just as far as your pitching staff, looks like today could be one of those bullpen days where you get a lot of guys in and take a look at them. What are you looking for from your pen tonight? Well,
you got to throw strikes, right? I mean, you got to throw strikes, and this is obviously a very strong, talented lineup that we're facing, and you know, you make mistakes, they hit you. You know, Jared can't walk a couple guys and then give up a 3-run bomb. You know, that's That's cardinal sin. So we made a couple mistakes on the mound. We made a mistake not backing up a base, and it ends up coming back to bite you. So we got to take care of those little things for sure.
No doubt. So long way to go, Coach. Can't thank you enough for the time throughout the weekend.
Appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
And these coaches' interviews all brought to you by Shriners Children's, the best care anywhere. Big thanks to Mitch Thompson of Baylor and Tony Vitello for Tennessee, taking some time mid-game to talk with us as we have a new pitcher into the fold for Hunter Simmons at the 2, 3, 4 holes of the Baylor lineup, and it's Nate Snead who enters the fray, the Wichita State transfer and a candidate who could get some late inning action later on in the season. Has a huge arm, and he gets a chopper to the right side, taken unassisted by Burke to first. He can touch 99, Pat, and he just did on that last pitch.
Yeah, big time arm, Nate Snead, and a big pickup for Tony Vitello to get him over from Wichita State. But yeah, has a chance to possibly be you know, a weekend starter, could become a closer. A lot of things you could do with Nate Snead, and this time in as a long reliever in relief of Xander Sechrist. Sechrist out after 2 innings, throwing 42 pitches. But yeah, Snead's a real deal. Big time arm, up, can touch 100.
He just did there. 100 on the gun, at least here in-house at Globe Life Field.
Yeah, they've added a new breaking ball. That'll be interesting to see how this progresses for him over the season. But high spin rates on all of his pitches. Definitely first-round potential in next year's draft. So Tony Vitello thinks he'll be a starter at some point, but certainly has closer-type stuff as well.
He gets ahead of Hunter Deplansky, who was thinking fastball all the way on the first pitch and was still late on it. It was 100 again on that sinker. You just know he's fired up right now after making 24 appearances last year with Wichita State. 1-2 with a 3.16 ERA and struck out 53 in 42 2/3.
Yeah, this is 100 with movement.
Backs it up with a curve that you have to be so brave to actually take. And it just misses on 0-2. Yeah, tough 1-2 punch. Little check swing. That one's down low in the dirt. 2-2 to Deplansky, who walked in the first inning.
A good take by Deplansky. A couple of tough pitches down in the zone and lays off.
Deplansky, he started last year 8th in the lineup before ending the year 2nd. So a guy who was showing kind of what Mitch Thompson was just talking to us about, Pat, so much growth. And he takes another close pitch just off the plate for a ball on a little cut fastball.
They did not miss by much. Cannon Peebles tried to frame that up. He saw the glove move down and up just a tad under the zone.
Inside on a 99-mile-an-hour fastball. Deplansky showing that good plate discipline. Walks for the 2nd straight at bat after going down 0-2.
Well, great plate discipline by Deplansky, and Baylor needs base runners at this point. Down by 3 here in the 3rd inning. A couple of tough pitches he laid off of and earned the walk.
You just know how fired up Snead is, making his Tennessee debut, and it's all about, can you channel that, continue to throw strikes despite the giant arm, and he just misses low there at 97 on the gun to Wesley Jordan, who flew out in the first. The snap throw, pretty good one, but just in time, is Deplansky's. The count goes to 2-0, and you talked about what a get it was for Tony Vitello, Pat, to get Nate Snead. It was basically Tennessee, LSU, and Arkansas, 3 of the behemoths in the SEC who were vying for Snead in the portal from Wichita State. After a good start on the first batter, he's feeling it a little bit right now. That's 7 straight balls after the first 2 strikes to Deplansky.
Yeah, Snead wants a new baseball and tosses that one out of the game. Well, like you said, it's a great arm. Obviously high velo stuff, and the command at an issue at times, but really been pretty good around the plate so far. Remains to be seen how he recovers here, but strike 1 there.
This is part of what Coach Vitello was talking to us about, though, with all the stuff you learn opening weekend. His battery right now to newcomers to Rocky Top. And a miss on 3-1. 96 there. It's a little bit high. You can tell Snead trying to take a little bit off, just find the zone, but pressing a little bit right now, and it's Mason Greer, who has been one of the hot Baylor hitters all weekend. With a home run yesterday, comes up with 2 ducks on the pond, and our first visit to the mound tonight from pitching coach Frank Anderson.
Yeah, Frank, a long-time veteran coach, 35th year this year in his coaching profession. 7th season as the pitching coach for Tony Vitello, and he's had some head coaching experience. Was at Oklahoma State for a couple of years. Anderson looking back towards the dugout now. Not sure about the conversation here with now home plate umpire Blake Felix joins that conversation.
That's interesting. It's almost like Anderson initiated the conversation with Blake Felix. And nobody's up in the pen either for Tennessee, so it might be maybe a pitch comm thing here. Pat saw one of the assistants come out, get another piece. I think that is the case.
Yeah, we've seen that a few times this weekend. You know, the communication systems now used in college baseball. Of course, there's various forms of it. Some catchers use the earpiece. We've seen some of the teams use the watch, the wristwatch. Coaches can directly signal pitches into the pitching staff, and bullpen is clear for the Volunteers, but see if that changes if Nate Snead can't rediscover the command.
We saw Will Glatch a second ago on the Baylor bullpen getting ready. You figure a lot of arms will be out there tonight for Baylor. It's Frank Anderson. He's back in the dugout for Tennessee. And it's Mason Greer who digs in. Chops this one foul. We showed you the plaques outside the ballpark earlier. His dad, Rusty, 9 years with the Rangers from '94 to '02. 3 different trips to the playoffs in that span with Texas. The issue was that was the height of the Yankee dynasty, and the Rangers lost to the Yankees 3 different times in the ALDS in that stretch, but Rusty was right in the heart of those orders. Now Mason tags one to left center. It's cut off. Dreiling makes a nice play in the gap. And an important second out for the struggling Nate Snead as he gets Greer to fly to Dreiling.
Yeah, Greer seeing the ball well this weekend, and again, another great piece there. Barrels the ball up. But Dylan Dreiling just makes an outstanding catch. Turns his hips, gets right to the gap, and cuts that ball off. Read that well off the bat. Line drive out to left for Greer. Nothing to show for. A nice piece.
With 2 on and 2 out, it's Ty Johnson, who is part of that runner's interference play, tried to catch Xander Sechrist off guard, tried to drag down a bunt, and then was ruled to stand on the inside of the runner's lane, right in line with the actual bag, and was ruled out right away. There was no protest there for Mitch Thompson, and we both thought that was the right call. He takes a little slider off the plate. 2-0 now the count. That first pitch fastball missed as well.
Yeah, there's some talk about expanding or changing that rule to expand the runner's lane. Runners can have at least a foot inside that lane. That rule change has not gone into effect yet. Certainly affected that play for Ty Johnson. That could have been a much bigger inning for Baylor.
I think back to it now. I mean, it was a stretch where Baylor already had 2 runs in the inning, and a throw that had gotten away from Sechrist would have been second and third with 2 outs. As Johnson swings and misses. Misses over the top. 2-2. With 2 on, 2 out, bottom of the third, Baylor, who struck first tonight but have given up back-to-back 3 spots, looking for a rally down 6-3 in the third. Punch to the left side, another long run for Dreiling, but he won't get there this time. Into the gap as Johnson comes up with the goods, chugging around second and into third. A 2-run triple for Baylor.
Well, the Baylor offense doing a job tonight, putting some runs on the board, and need some pitching and defense to go with it, but they are doing their jobs at the plate. Ty Johnson, nice swing, gets a pitch elevated up and away, and just goes into the left center gap with it. Baylor hitters doing a really good job tonight of just taking what this volunteer pitching staff has been giving them, and triple 2 RBI for Johnson cuts that lead to 1.
Now Braden Buchanan digs in, takes a ball. Johnson joins Hunter Simmons with 4 hits this weekend for Baylor. Johnson, the McClellan JUCO transfer, where his current coach Mitch Thompson was the head man at for 10 seasons and won a national title in 2021. So he knows the type of talent that's there at McClellan, and Ty Johnson certainly seems to be a hit so far.
We thought that might be the case when Mitch Thompson came over to Baylor for the head job, and knew he had some talent at McClellan. Of course, won the national championship in 2021, but had recruited both Mason Greer and Ty Johnson. He was the head coach for the Highlanders, and those 2 players making their way over just down the street to Baylor to play for him yet again.
It's now 3-0 to Braden Buchanan, taking all the way, and a called strike. Figured it was a pretty good bet that you'd see a lot of McClellan guys come over to Waco. As Buchanan draws the walk. The Austin native backup catcher as a freshman reaches base for the first time in his Baylor career. And now Tyree Kemp, another newcomer into this Baylor organization, who had his first career hit last time up.
And Tony Vitello making a call down to that volunteer bullpen. They will get it going pretty quickly.
And that's the hero from last night, at least on the mound, Chris Stamos, who had the diving catch off the pop-up bunt, turned a triple play, and he's got his original glove back down in the bullpen from last night. If he comes in, we'll see if he's allowed to throw with that glove tonight, as Kemp takes called strike 1.
We know he has a spare.
We do know he has a spare. Yes, swing and a miss over the top on a slider, and it's 0-2 to Kemp. 2 runs already in this inning. Baylor scored in every frame so far on Tennessee, but trails 6-5. Little check swing. Kemp held up, and a delayed steal there by Buchanan. Everybody was watching the appeal there down to the third base umpire Shane Matheny. So Tennessee just gives up that delayed steal by Buchanan at 2nd and 3rd.
Yeah, I don't think that was a plan. I don't know that Peoples knew that Buchanan was on the move.
Swing and a miss, doesn't matter on the slider that gets Kemp up and in. But Baylor once again trying to hang tough with the top 10 Vols with a 2-run triple by Ty Johnson to make it a 1-run game.
Watch me roll, grind, and spin. Playgrounds for wheels, that's always a win. One with my chair, but never held back. I do things sitting down, most people standing can't hack. Some might say my condition was fate. My doctors would tell you I'm just redefining great. Watch me. Life-changing orthopedic excellence at Shriners Children's, the most amazing care anywhere.
You're so much more than just a landowner. You're a gardener, a groundskeeper, and a landscaper. That's why you need versatile, durable Kubota equipment.
The American Western Weekend. 2 nights of Western sports and live entertainment. Deep in the heart of Texas. March 8th and 9th, Globe Life Field. Friday night, the American Performance Horsemen with a concert by Luke Bryan. Saturday night, the American Rodeo with a concert by Post Malone. The American Western Weekend, March 8th and 9th. Tickets on sale at AmericanRodeo.com.
They've had a lot of runs tonight, and then there's another version of running, Pat Combs.
How about that?
Got, the mullet. Oh, yeah, you love it. Big 12 baseball fans, and SEC baseball fans for that matter, they all have something in common. They love a good mullet.
That's good for speed, man.
Oh, yeah. You just see how it blows in the
aerodynamic
wind.
haircut.
Yeah. You get a little head tilt back there. Oh, 100%.
Steals the base, slides, and wins.
Nicely done all the way around. No cheating either. There was we had the fake horse race earlier. Some guy tried to circumvent the actual riding of the horse. You can't do that.
Suffered a disqualification.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
No disqualification there. That was 100% all the way.
For the kid from Dumas, he knows what to do with that base.
For sure.
Now, how about the 11 runs tonight, Ben?
Yeah.
Yeah. If we were going to think about going to sleep early tonight, I think those dreams are long gone. But what a game!
Been a lot of fun so far. Baylor trying to get win number 1 of the season, while Tennessee looks to bounce back after an extra inning loss last night. And it's Brad Keylori who takes a couple of called strikes in there. 0-2 from Kobe Andrade, back out for his second inning of work as he just misses outside. The big question right now for Baylor, can they find the zone a little bit more often? 4 walks that have really gotten them behind the 8 ball in innings. And even though Tennessee just has 3 hits, they've all been big ones.
Yeah, we've talked about it. Just can't give free bases to this Volunteer lineup. And if you're going to lose a game, you got to force the other team to beat you. Right now, Baylor pitching staff has beaten themselves. And Mitch Thompson said, yep, it's not the home run that beat you. It's the 2 walks before the home run that really caused the heartache.
Andrade just misses, had a good amount of run there. Going across the plate, just misses outside, and it's 2-2. On the inside, Black, so we set him up outside. Now catches the inside edge. That fastball in the upper 80s for Andrade, and Laurie is the retirement.
Yeah, well spotted fastball catches the inside corner. You see Cayley setting up on the inside, and Andrade dotting his glove with it. Laurie can't believe it, but looked like a pretty good pitch.
So first out for Andrade, and the guy who made Baylor's pitching staff pay after a couple walks with a home run, Kavaris Tears. Shoots one just foul the other way. That almost got down for another extra base knock for Tears.
How about the luxury of having a Kavaris Tears batting in the 9 hole? Just a ton of power. Of course, great athlete. And as we mentioned before, Vitello says, it's just a great swing, but we'd like to see a little bit less swing and miss. And when he does that, it puts it all together. He's got a bright future.
0-2 to Tears. Pokes one to the left side. A little looper that's down. A 2-for-2 night for Kavaris Tears. It's just his 3rd career homer in his first AB, and is now on base with 1 out.
And that's the exact adjustment that the Volunteer coaching staff loves to see. Comes out, hits the bolt of a home run in the second opposite field to put the balls up, and then exactly what they had hoped he would do. Cut that swing down with 2 strikes to put the bat on the ball and put some pressure on the defense, and does exactly that. Now drops the ball right in front of Wesley Jordan in left field.
So the Lewisburg, Tennessee native, he's on base. Didn't have a steal last year, but still pretty good speed in general as the lineup turns over to Hunter Ensley in a 6-5 game, top of the 4th. Tears has some relatives who have played professionally, like Jason Maxwell, former Cub and Twin in the big leagues, and Patriot linebacker Dante Hightower. Tears is trying to put it all together, as you were talking about, Patton. Has had a great night tonight. A little slider, not doing much break as it comes high and outside. 2-0 to Ensley, who has flied out and popped out in his 2 trips.
Well, the Bears had 1 left-handed pitcher on their roster last season. Ethan Calder. He is back for his sophomore season, but the Bears have added 6 new left-handed arms out of that bullpen, and certainly Andrade now focusing solely on pitching would be a big boost to that pen if he can come around.
Snatched off the glove of Kemp. He was able to get over on a hot shot to his right, but unable to prevent that from getting past him. And Ensley reaches with Tiers going to second.
Yeah, potential double play ball here, but that ball just eats up Kemp, and saw him try to go down to one knee to field it. Took a funky little hop there at the end, and gets over the shoulder of Kemp. There's about now a couple of errors here in 2 innings.
E6 there. The young shortstop Tyree Kemp from the Netherlands. The coaching staff is really high on his defense, but can't make the play, and it allows Dylan Dreiling to come up. Fouls one straight back. There's a couple plays here and there, Pat. You go for Baylor and you look, all right, you're 0-2, but it could have been so different. A couple plays in the field, part of that 3-run inning against Oregon yesterday that really did them in a 7-4 loss.
Yeah, it's hard to play mistake-free baseball anywhere, but you play against this volunteer team, and you can't make many of them and keep yourself in the game.
4 errors now across about 2 1/3 games here in the field as Dreiling digs in. This is where the coaches want to see improvement for Dreiling as he chops one foul down the first base line. These lefty-lefty matchups, he really struggled with his consistency in that area last year, having to prove he can hit those lefties consistently. We've already seen this weekend he's got the power. It is a really dangerous task for any righty to face. It's just these lefty-lefty matchups. The 0-2 to Dreiling. Hit hard to left center. Johnson on his horse, but has room right in front of the track. A chance for Tiers to tag. We told you about his good speed, and Tiers easily makes it to third without a throw. As Dreiling is able to advance the runner, and it's runners on the corners for Christian Moore.
Andrade got away with that pitch out over the plate there to Dreiling, and Dreiling just missed it. Lifts it high to left center, but easy out for Ty Johnson.
This goes back to one of the things you've been saying throughout the weekend, Pat, in our Tennessee games. It's like you get through, one big bopper, and all of a sudden it's, Christian Moore. Yeah. Get past him, and now you have to take on a really, really good hitter. And Mitch Thompson with Moore coming up. He got the lefty-lefty matchup he wanted to end that sequence. Andrade gets out Dreiling, but that'll be the end of the line for the second pitcher used tonight for Baylor. We get a fresh arm coming in, and it's Will Glatch who can touch 96 with the fastball. A big arm as he's set to face Christian Moore, the third-team preseason All-American. We'll have that matchup on the other side. Pretty big spot in the top of the fourth for Will Glatch to make his Baylor debut. Former McLennan JUCO product. Had 2 really good seasons there in Waco. Stays in Waco. Goes across town and now Well, Pat Combs set to make his debut in a big spot with 2 on, 2 out against Christian Moore.
Yeah, no doubt. Big spot with Volunteers scoring 6 runs last couple of innings. And Baylor got right back in it in the 3rd. Now Will Glatch called upon to try to keep this lead at 1. Having to face Christian Moore, number 3 hole hitter for the Volunteers. But good stuff from Glatch. Fastball sits low 90s. He has touched 96 with it in the fall. Has a split finger changeup that he uses as a complimentary pitch.
Now, welcome to Division I. Will Glatch, you get to take on Christian Moore, who already has 4 hits and 9 trips. Number 3 hole hitter for Tennessee. As we've gone back and forth, a whole lot of offense so far. The only half inning where we did not have a run was the top of the 1st. Moore takes that little split finger change, running down and in, 1-0 with Inslee sitting at first, Tiers at 3rd, and Andrade an inning and 2/3. Any runs that are given up will be unearned, as there was the E6 to keep the inning alive. On the move and a hot shot down the line. Inslee off on that pitch, and he has a chance to score all the way from first. Another extra base hit for Moore. The throw's not in time. Both Tiers and Inslee come around to score as Tennessee plates 2 more.
Well, Glatch goes right back to the split change, and we kind of hung out over the middle plate. Moore puts a great swing on it. See why folks think he may be a high round draft pick. Just has a beautiful swing and really run as well, but a couple of RBI with that double that boosts that Volunteer lead back up to 3 again.
You just feel for the Baylor offense. I mean, they've had just an incredible start here tonight. You look up and you're just consistently behind the 8 ball down in the scoreboard. This is what Tennessee can do to you, and there was so much frustration too last night. The 0 for 8 with runners in scoring position, the 1 run. I'm sure a lot of Vols fans sitting here going, hey, where was this last night at any point down the stretch? But that's baseball in a nutshell, and it's 8 runs now in the first 4 innings.
That's how it goes sometimes. And tonight the Volunteers taking advantage of some Baylor pitching that has had command issues tonight, and a couple of errors here. One in the outfield, one in the infield, and they have just taken advantage of mistakes. That's what great teams do.
Dalton Bargo behind 0-2 after a foul back. So both those runners charged to Andrade, but they're both unearned. Bargo takes a change that's just outside. Glatch started to lean toward his dugout.
That split finger has some nice tumble to it. Really close pitch. Did not get the call.
Swing and a miss. Glatch gets his first strikeout at the D1 level, blows a fastball by Bargo. But another big hit with 2 outs. Christian Moore drives in 2 with a double, and Tennessee reclaims a 3-run lead. Hey, we'll be joined by a couple former Baylor Bears and Texas Rangers in the booth when we come back from Globe Life Field.
You're so much more than just a landowner. You're a gardener, a groundskeeper, and a landscaper. That's why you need versatile, durable Kubota equipment.
3 bands, 1 stadium. Def Leppard, Journey, the Steve Miller Band. Together. 3 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame icons. Their biggest hits. August 12th, Globe Life Field. Tickets on sale now at DefLeppardJourney2024.com.
Sometimes you just need a little wonderful in your life. So why not go to a place made for it? Arlington, Texas. It's a city made for fun and excitement and all the things you love to do. And even some things you didn't know you loved until you came here and found them. Come see for yourself why Arlington is a world of wonderful.
whatever.
Welcome back into Globe Life Field as we continue. Home of the Rangers. We got a former Ranger and Baylor Bear sitting right next to us. Great to have David Murphy with us in the booth. How's it hanging, man?
Good to be here. Love being at the ballpark. Usually it's the Rangers, but, you know, looking on from up here and seeing the Baylor Bears down there, it's always fun to support them.
No doubt. And I need a little spark here. I mean, the offense has been really good, but this is kind of a showcase, right, of just how good the college baseball landscape is. A team like Tennessee here, with 8 runs as we go to the bottom of the 4th. Baylor have represented themselves so well, even though it hasn't been in the win column this week.
Right. Well, the game the other day was great. It came to the game 1 on Friday, the Tech game, and unfortunate. Just Baylor came out on the short end, but things looked good early on, but obviously Tennessee is highly ranked nationally for a reason. So they've been playing some good baseball. So this might end up as a football score, but we'll see.
Yeah, it's certainly head that way, right, Murph?
Yep, that's right.
Yeah. Well, thanks for letting us crash your. This is usually your home.
Oh no.
I mean, part of the Bally Sports Southwest crew. It's it's such a treat for us too. You come here, get to do games in a big league ballpark to kick off the season. For Pat and I, we've had so much fun last few years, and it's a different buzz too around this place with the Rangers and what they were able to pull off last year.
It's really crazy. I don't think anybody envisioned it, but it happened, and I think everybody's enjoying it. And I've had so many different conversations of lifelong Rangers fans and just how I don't know, they're content now that their team has won a world championship. And I think all of us, if you think about it, former players, fans, whatever it is, when you're part of the fan base, it's so frequent that you talk about your team and you say we won, we did this, and a lot of times when you were a player, you're like, well, not everybody took part in it. Now, can you really say
right.
it? But then, I don't know, I've been thinking about it in a lot of different ways, and just seeing that World Series trophy. I went on the trophy tour. I know they've had a lot of different tours, and went to Fort Worth the week after they won it. And I guess it just makes you kind of get poetic about baseball a little bit, and how the fan base is such a big part of it.
No question. We'll keep you, David, for another half inning, since we get the patented 25-second 1-2-3 inning whenever we bring a guest on. But it's a fly out for Simmons. We'll continue the chat going here into the top of the 5th. 8-5 game, having a lot of fun. Final game of the weekend here at Globe Life Field.
Tech game. They played Nebraska the other day.
Hey, we are back here at Globe Life Field, Tennessee and Baylor, and let's look at David Murphy hanging out with us, part of the Rangers broadcast crew and a long big league career. Kind of crazy to think about, with your career. You're drafted by the Red Sox in '03, and part of, you come in and they've got the whole curse thing that we may or may not have been a thing. Then snapped in '04 while you're in the minors, and you come up, all sorts of success with the Red Sox, and it's just crazy to think about, in baseball particularly, where there are so many moving parts, and you can have a career that spans multiple teams, and you're part of so many firsts for a franchise, and you're one of the few to do that for multiple teams. Pretty special.
Yeah, really special. My time in Boston was very valuable. Just coming up around a team like that, so many veteran guys on those teams, and just being able to rub shoulders with Curt Schilling and David Ortiz and Manny Ramirez, and then, man, that ball's hit well.
Yeah, that ball is hit well, and a no-doubt home run for Tennessee, who have mashed a bunch of balls all weekend, and they get another one off the bat of Billy Amick, 113 miles an hour on the exit velo.
Not bad.
You know that sound.
Oh, man.
Well,
Wow.
You could see it off the bat.
Yeah.
If you've been up in this booth before and you've seen the trajectory of a home run, that one was a no-doubter right off the bat. So unfortunate. Obviously, I'm a Baylor guy, but Tennessee, I guess, flexing their muscles a little bit right now.
Yeah, 425-foot home run from Amick, and we've seen him swing the bat well all weekend, Murph. And got robbed a couple of times during the series, but the last 2 at-bats, a double and a home run, and that ball was out of here quick.
Yeah, it seems like college is a little bit different game than it was about 20 years ago, 30 years ago when you and I were around here. But man, these kids they're made into machines a little bit more these days. We've seen high velocity, we've seen big time power.
Did you guys have fur coats in the,
we did
in the dugout?
Nope.
At Baylor?
That probably would that would have induced some extra strength and conditioning.
Oh, yeah.
We probably would have had about 10 extra sprints for doing something like that.
Yeah, that was not in our day, Murph.
Yep.
Well, hey, Murph, talk about your time at Baylor, wearing the green and gold. Obviously, you played for Mitch Thompson for your time there as a Baylor Bear. Just tell us about Mitch, your impression of him.
Yeah, Coach T was probably the, when everybody asked why I chose Baylor over the other schools, whether it be Texas, Texas A&M, Rice, Houston, the one thing that stuck out was how genuine the coaching staff was. And, everybody's going to go in there, they're going to sell you, they're going to tell you that you're going to play as a freshman. And it's possible if you believe in yourself, but at the same time, moving from high school to college is going to be a little bit different. And that there could be some struggle involved. And so I just felt strongly that the Baylor coaching staff was really going to stick with me through and through. And it ended up being the right decision because, I had an okay freshman year, but I still started for the most part. My sophomore year, I broke my hand early on. When I came back, it was still bugging me. So for the first 15 games back, I only hit 150. They still played me. And then, went on to finish my sophomore year pretty well and had a good junior year. So, Coach Thompson was the recruiting coordinator at the time. And, I think it's been cool to see from an alumni perspective how excited all of my former teammates and I have gotten once Coach T got the job, because there was immediate excitement. We all were pulling for him and just hoping that the program was going to become successful, because there were some years there where they weren't winning like they wanted to, and he had a tough first year, but it seems like he's the guy, the right guy for the job that can put the program back on top.
No question. David Murphy hanging out with us here in the booth, former Baylor Bear and Texas Ranger. Bears last making it to Omaha in 2005 after a base hit here by Cannon Peebles. And you think about, too, not only Mitch Thompson, you have a guy like Zach Dillon, who's the current recruiting coordinator, and a guy who played at Baylor right after you left there. He was a 06 grad, and the number of Baylor connections just on the staff. And you can kind of tell, right, Mitch Thompson, he has that desire to keep it in the family and really help those who he coached now get their start in their own coaching profession.
Yeah, and you look at like the big leagues these days. I mean, most guys, when they get a managing job, like they bring their guys in, right? Like the guys that either they played with, they've coached alongside, guys that they trust. So, Coach T's done it a long time. So he's been around a lot of good players. He's been around a lot of good coaches. He knows the guys that he thinks can, work alongside him, and the guys that are going to be like-minded and have the type of Baylor mindset that can lead to success.
Yeah, Murph, we talk about Tony Vitello on the Tennessee side, the turnaround job he's done for the Volunteers when they hadn't made a regional since 05, and he turns that program around, and we know Coach Thompson's fully capable of that.
Ball falls in the outfield on a high pop-up off the bat of Blake Burke, and you kind of tell, too, Cannon Peebles, he was off on that pitch. He didn't go back. And we've talked about it all weekend, Murph, where you've got the college players getting used to the new environment here playing in Globe Life, and that was a tough play there. Wesley Jordan and Tyreek Kemp can't make the play.
Yeah, it looked like a little bit of a miscommunication. Kemp did the right thing by trying to be pretty aggressive out there. But typically that's going to be the left fielder's ball, or whatever outfielder is coming in. They have the priority there. So it's common that you see that, especially early in the season, but not even uncommon in the big leagues. It just miscommunication happens.
Yeah, Murph, getting back to the turnaround that Vitello had at Tennessee, certainly looking for that for Coach T at Baylor. But you know, I said when he got hired, give him a couple of seasons because we know he can recruit, right? That's what he was known for. #1 recruiting class back in 2005, and so I think a couple of years maybe, right?
Yeah, no, I think so. And there's so many more different things that you've got to deal with these days with all the NIL stuff and so on and so forth. You've got the transfer portal, you know, things that you didn't have to deal with before. So maybe there's some challenge there and just kind of some getting used to a new way of things these days. But you know, like I said, I mean, recruiting is what he's been known for. This guy can sell Baylor baseball to anybody, and specifically remember so many conversations that I had with him, and that's what made me want to be part of the program.
A tough stretch right now after that ball drops in the outfield. 4-pitch walk to Brad Keylori to load the bases. Well, and you think about all the connections now, past to current here with Baylor Bears, and got to be so cool for someone like you. You know, you're in college when Rusty Greer was doing his thing with the Rangers, and now his son Mason, second baseman for the Baylor team, and how surreal that must be to see that lineage passed down.
Yeah, so neat. I saw it. I said I was at the Tech game it was the Nebraska game. I goofed on that one, but I saw Rusty at the game the other day, and just really neat. I remember, you know, standing out in the outfield in spring training a few times talking to Rusty, and now his son's here at Baylor. So yeah, things come full circle sometimes.
Well, David, we can't thank you enough for doing this here. Proud Baylor alum joining us in the booth, and going to be an exciting year too for you in the broadcast booth for the Texas Rangers. I'm sure it'll be you'll have quite a few things to talk about.
I hope so. Yeah, on the heels of winning a World Series, there's typically a lot to talk about. Yeah. So, yeah.
Well, Tennessee threatening to put together a big inning. The solo homer from Billy Amick, and then two singles and a walk to chase Will Glatch from the game. And we get a new pitcher. It's a college debut, Pat, for Mason Green, the lefty from Cypress.
Yeah, much heralded high school pitcher out of Cy Woods High School in Cypress. And, had a 7-0 record as a senior there, and traditional 3-pitch mix, fastball, uprighties. He'll touch 90 with it, curveball, and a changeup. And
this is who he has to face. Not an easy task.
Fun, yeah.
What a night for Kavaris Tears so far. That was the homer that gave Tennessee the lead in the second.
And followed it up with a single RBI in the fourth. And yeah, Tears having a great start here to tonight's game. And Green has his work cut out for him.
The lefty digs in. He does get the lefty-lefty matchup. So 1 run already in. Bases loaded. Nobody out. 1 out should have been made. There was a pop-up that dropped in shallow left center, but it went down as a base hit. And now Tears up already with a homer A single, couple runs scored, 3 driven in for Mason Green, the lefty, making his collegiate debut. 9-5 game. Tennessee on top, threatening to blow this one open. Aggressive early, a little tapper foul off the curve. It is Peebles at third. He singled after that Amick homer. Blake, who got the pop-up that should have been caught. Blake Burke over at second, and then Laurie with the walk to chase Will Glatch from the game. And this is upstairs on a curve, 1-1. Big thanks to David Murphy, the former Baylor Bear and Texas Ranger, for joining us in the booth. We'll have another guest in our next half inning, one of our youth team ambassadors from the Tennessee Volunteers. Kaysen will stop by.
Kaysen should be a happy camper.
I'd say so, yeah. The whole crew just came into the booth, so we're excited to have Kaysen on in a second. 2-1 count here to Tears. It's under this one. A high pop up, another long run for that shortstop left field combo. This time Kemp makes the call and the catch, and it's not nearly deep enough for Peebles to tag. So a good job by Green, comes in and gets the pop out.
A nice pitch, fastball away, and started Tears with a couple of breaking pitches, and spots that fastball up well and gets the pop up. Just out number 1 for the Bears here in the 5th inning.
To the top of the order now, and Hunter Ensley. With 1 down, still the base is full of Volunteers. As he takes that changeup running low and outside. Tennessee, a team that was 4th in the SEC last year, about 7.5 runs per game. We're 3rd in slugging, 3rd in homers. This is sort of the offense that Vols fans were expecting this year. Only got 1 run across last night as it's fouled into the dugout. Everybody having to duck out of the way, and it's 1-1.
You had to think that the Volunteers went to bed last night really unsatisfied with the offensive production, and just kind of felt like they were going to come out today swinging the bats a little bit better, and they certainly have done that.
A chase though on 1-1, so Green riding that changeup, the lefty. Gets a wave and a miss there to go to 1-2.
Yeah, good arm side run on that changeup, moving away from Ensley. Way out in front.
Swing and a miss, gets him on the slider. How about that start for Mason Green? Is tough of a setting to come in to make her debut, and he gets back-to-back outs, the second on a punch out.
Yeah, slider down and in and over the top with Ensley's swing, and yeah, great start for Mason Green. Boy, what a big lift this would be for the Baylor Bears if he can come in and limit this damage. Of course, the Amick home run to lead off the inning. Bases jammed with Volunteers, and a couple of outs here posted by Mason Green.
Another lefty-lefty matchup now for Mason Green, as it's Dylan Dreiling. A couple flyouts and a punch out today. He takes that curve running low and outside. You mentioned, Pat, how there's only 1 lefty arm in the Baylor pen last year. So many more options this season for Mitch Thompson. Good block out in front by Harrison Cayley. That was not an easy one to keep in front of him.
Yeah, Cayley saved a run there, and kind of a short-armed breaking pitch there from Green.
So count goes to 2-0. Nowhere to put Dylan Dreiling. I'm sure Tony Vitello loves that he's getting these matchups. Lefty-lefty, something to work on. It's really the only weakness, if there is one, in Dreiling's game right now. And he bullets one, just foul. That did not miss by much. Down the first base line. Matt McKentry making the calls. He had to do the old Ole getting out of the way.
Yeah, Baylor first baseman Braden Buchanan laying out for that ball, and Dreiling just misses extra bases. That would have cleared the bases for the Volunteers and blown this game wide open. Just fouled by about an inch.
Yep. Right call made.
Gendry all over it.
Fouls this one off on 2-1. Been a long weekend too for the umpires. They've worked every day and been mixed around into different positions, so they're not all having to be in the same position. But here we go. Final game of the weekend, Pat. Gotta give them credit. It's been a well umpired weekend all the way around, even though we've had to go to review probably a couple more times than we would have wanted to. The 2-2 served into right center, and a stumble by Johnson. He's able to recollect, get his footing, and make the catch. What a job by Mason Green. Comes in with the bases loaded and nobody outs and doesn't give up a run as we go to break.
Today we're here at the University of Tennessee. Go Vols, I'll tell you, we brought Kaysen with us down here from Dayton, Ohio, the patient ambassador, and he's here to spend time with the team, getting ready for the college showdown.
I found out he was going to be born with cleft lip and cleft palate at 18 weeks. We went in for an ultrasound. Kaysen was born, and we decided at this point we would be using Shriners out of Ohio. That's the amazing part of Shriners, is knowing that if you don't have the ability to pay, you're covered.
The best of the best. So that's where we went, made a visit there, and we fell in love ever since.
So his first surgery was 3 months old, and that was to repair his cleft lip. His next surgery, he was a year old, and that was cleft palate. At 4 years old, he had what they call Z-plasty.
He's part of us, and that's actually what I told him. I said, you're part of our team now. We're all beyond happy that he's going to be down there with us.
I'm excited to be a part of the Shriners team, and I'm excited to be a part of the Vols team. Go Vols!
Well, the Shriners Children's College Showdown unites athletic excellence and the most amazing care anywhere. Shriners Children's is dedicated to improving the lives of children around the world. All care is provided regardless of a family's ability to pay. To learn more, visit shrinerschildrens.org today. And we are so lucky to be joined in the booth. Now, we saved the best for last. Our final team ambassador, Kaysen, with us right now. How you doing? Thanks so much for stopping by. Good? Yes.
There you go,
I mean,
Kaysen.
the score, last time I checked, Kaysen, the Tennessee Volunteers were putting up a lot of runs on the scoreboard. Good, yes?
So are you the good luck charm, Kaysen? Did you come, you the man?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, awesome. Well, thanks for being up here with us. Yeah, we can take a seat now, but hey, tell us about your time with the Volunteers. What was like the highlight for you?
It was just fun.
Yeah. What'd you guys do when you were with the baseball team?
I just fist bumped them, and I was excited to be there with them.
And not only are you with a college baseball team, Kaysen, but you're with one of the best teams in the country, one of the most loyal fan bases in the country. Or what's it like when you can tell people, hey, I'm a member of Vol Nation? Kaysen shrugging his shoulders right now, by the way, for people who can't tell. And I think that's a very Vol reaction. There's a look at the Tennessee dugout as we start this fifth inning here. Did you stay up last night for the whole game?
Yes.
You did. Now that's impressive, Pat.
That is. Yeah. Got to miss your bedtime, didn't you?
Yeah.
And a strikeout here for Nate Sneed, who everybody knows, like when you're up in the booth, like the teams, the players, they're aware of the whole schedule, Kaysen, so they know you're in the booth right now. Nate Sneed, who's pitching, he understands. He's got to do well. You know that, right?
Yeah.
That's so good. Well, Kaysen, you see as we get this ground ball up the middle, that's a base hit for Wesley Jordan as we play here in the bottom of the fifth. So you see how in center field we have that big board and the donation to Shriners Children's. Can you believe $283,000 has been raised this weekend? And they put out the leaderboard for the leaders based on who donates by team. Do you want to guess who is number one right now? Who has raised the most money of the 6 teams this weekend? You got a 1 in 6 shot.
And they may wear that jersey right there.
My team?
Yes, you got it. Tennessee. The Vols fans have raised the most money of anybody. How special is that? Pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
Tennessee 9 runs so far. Team that's ranked 9th in the country to start the year. What do you think, Tennessee? Can they get to #1 this year?
Yes.
Pat, I like the confidence. I gotta say.
Now, he's been there, done that. He's been on the inside of the program. We haven't. He knows all about the Tennessee Volunteers.
You're so right.
All right, now tell us what, like, your favorite thing to do, like in sports. What's your favorite sport?
Baseball.
Oh, of course. Yeah. What position do you play?
I play first base, right field, and shortstop.
Man,
first base, right field, shortstop.
Yeah, that's tremendous.
And sometimes catcher.
And sometimes, do you have a separate glove for catcher, or can you do it all with one?
Yeah, all with one.
Now that is true skill, Pat. You know, most people, they need a separate glove. Well, you were part of history last night because you were not even born the last time Tennessee turned a triple play. Have you ever seen a triple play in person before?
No.
No? Well, you saw one last night. Had to be pretty cool.
Yeah, it was.
For someone who can be a catcher and a first baseman and a shortstop and an outfielder, I mean, you're doing it all, Casey. That's pretty amazing.
All right, Casey, you got to tell us about the Shriners. Like, how did you get to know Shriners, and what have they done for you?
Because I am a Shriners patient, and wait.
Well, Casey, did you see that? We just got a double play. Tennessee got a double play for you. We just had triple play. Now they get a double play. Do you want to thank the Shriners here one more time for having us on with you here today?
Yeah.
He's nodding his head. Yes. Hey, Casey, thank you so much for doing this. We can't thank you enough for being with us and part of this whole weekend. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
We'll take a break. Double play turned by Tennessee as they lead by 4.
Today we're here to introduce Gray to the Baylor Bears baseball team and to share his story with the team for them to understand, what all Shriners do for the children.
Gray, can you tell me a little bit about Shriners and how it's been a part of your life?
When I was 2, I tripped and fell into a campfire. Got 2nd-degree burn. We went to the hospital named Shriner Children, Texas, down in Galveston.
He's had 12 surgeries on his hands. They've done a lot of the laser treatments to help with the scarring.
It's been awesome for us to open Baylor up to Gray and to his family, but it's even been better for us to get a chance to meet them.
Seeing him out here today, and we got to hit with him, throw with him, being around the guys, it was awesome to see that he gets a chance to do all of that after that accident.
Getting to this point, we're actually coming up on his 10-year anniversary of his accident. Seeing where he's at after everything that happened has just been amazing.
Yeah, one of the things that impresses me the most is the impact that our healthcare system has made in Gray's life, regardless of the family's ability to pay.
Hey, sick 'em Bears!
We've had the horse races all weekend, Pat. We haven't had any injuries, though, during the races. I mean, talk about leaving a mark.
Savage horse race all weekend. Yeah. Like a couple of skinned knees, maybe an elbow went down there. That was quite a ride.
No bucking to be found, but the final result kind of felt like it. And
was there prize money or what?
had to be a bet of some sort.
Something going on down there.
There just had to be. As we're off to the 6th inning, another tough break for Baylor there at the plate as they make a mistake on the base pass after a Wesley Jordan single, as he's doubled off first on the Mason Greer flyout. The real bright spot, though, tonight for the Baylor Bears has been this lefty on the mound, Mason Green, who got out of a bases-loaded jam with nobody out, and his reward is the Heart of the Volunteer Order here in a 9-5 game as we start the 6th.
Yeah, big turn for the Bears and him getting out of that base-loaded jam, and then
another stinger into the gap, and that's up against the wall. Christian Moore, 109 miles an hour off the bat, an extra base hitting machine. Back-to-back doubles to start the 6th. He hit one in the 4th inning, did Moore on a double, and he has another one here.
It just goes down and gets that pitch again. It's a very similar pitch he hit back in the 4th inning. Breaking ball that hung over the plate but down in the zone, and he just gets extended on it. A lot of Major League scouts in and out of the Globe Life Field this weekend, and he's one of the big reasons they were here.
Hit .304 with 17 homers last year. And has been so good all weekend. Now a pitch in the dirt that gets all the way to the backstop. Moore might try to score from second. He was about halfway around third before pulling up, turning on the brakes. As he gets to third base with ease and will be content to let Dalton Bargo try and drive him in.
Yeah, go down as a wild pitch. Ball definitely in the dirt before it got to the Baylor catcher Kalian. Unable to find it for a moment. The entire dugout over on the Baylor side yelling at him. It was at the backstop and finally located it, but Moore third base now, 90 feet away.
Foul tip and a strike one.
Caught Kaylee in the hand, so home plate umpire Blake Felix will give him a chance to recuperate.
Tennessee just keeps coming at you in waves. 3 in the second, 3 in the third, 2 in the fourth. Solo homer in the fifth, and they stranded the bases loaded. Could be even more right now for the Vols.
Yeah, the Volunteers have let 5 base runners, and of course the 3 you mentioned back in the fifth, Ben, and yeah, could have been a lot more damage had Green not gotten the pop up, the strikeout, and the fly out.
Change-up missing outside to Bargo. Had his first hit in Vol colors earlier. Really impressed the coaching staff when he played against the Vols as a member of the Missouri Tigers last year. Watches a fastball just outside, 3-1 to Dalton Bargo in a lefty-lefty matchup. And Baylor's had some other arms getting loose for a while. This is the last true lefty for a couple batters. Right on the outside edge. Nice placement on that pitch. Coaches say Bargo's a real throwback as he has his teammate Christian Moore down at third. He's not really worried about what you label him. That's what Coach Tony Vitello told us. The pitch gets away. That's ball 4. Moore probably could have scored, but with no outs, he's content not to push the issue here. And big reason why is you've got Billy Amick coming up, who has tripled and homered his last 2 times up.
Yeah, I think good decision by Christian Moore to hold the bag there at third, but take a look at Amick. Had the double back in the third, ended up scoring. Make that the triple, but hit the home run in the fifth.
425 feet for Billy Amick, and if Ty Johnson doesn't make an amazing play in the gap in the second inning, this very easily could be an at-bat for the cycle. I mean, it really could.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And I think it's safe to say Amick, one of the top transfer players in the country, hit the portal from Clemson, and Tony Vitello and the Volunteers got him to sport the different shade of orange coming over from Clemson. Super happy with that pickup. This lineup was already tremendous, and then you add Amick to it. Just now it's ridiculous.
2 homers this weekend. Only player with multi-long balls as he takes the fastball down low. 1-1 the count. Hitting .413 with Clemson last year. Amazing when you consider he only had 2 hits in 19 at-bats as a freshman. Rockets one right at the third baseman. They look to turn 2 and do so. It was hit 102 miles an hour off the bat, but Toplansky positioned perfectly to start the 5-4-3 double play as Baylor takes 2 outs and they sacrifice Moore scoring from third.
Yeah, great decision by Toplansky. You saw him look up just briefly. I think should he go home with it? And I think at this stage in the game, you're better off taking the 2 outs, trading the run if you're Baylor, and this puts the 10 run on the board for the Vols, but Baylor now with the bases clean and trying to avoid yet another crooked inning. Good decision by Toplansky.
Cannon Peebles, another shot right back to Toplansky. Makes a nice play, calm with the glove. And Mason Green gets through his second inning of work. Tennessee adds 1 more. They lead 10-5 as we go to the bottom of the 6th. Final game of the weekend from this 2024 Shriners Children's College Showdown.
Watch Watch me. Watch me jump, dive, and splash. Put me by a pool, I'll be soaked in a flash. A girl in the water to swim like a fish. Just 2 simple legs, that was my wish. I'm a sea turtle, shark, a seal on a slide. This is my day of fun, with nothing to hide. Watch me. Pioneers in orthotic and prosthetic technology at Shriners Children's. The most amazing care anywhere.
Protecting what matters most is the mission that matters most. At Lockheed Martin, we know today's threats come from behind, above, and below, and we make sure those who serve stay ahead of them by connecting platforms necessary to dominate every domain across air, land, sea, space, and cyber, using technologies that protect in the same moment they detect. The mission is a safer, more secure world. Our promise is to help make it happen.
As we go to the bottom of the 6th, so many cool plaques here outside, and one of them is the great Chuck Morgan, longtime PA address announcer for the Texas Rangers. He's got his whole office set up here, even with a Mr. 3000 jersey. They even allow fans to come check it out. They were just advertising that, Pat, for the fans here today at Globe Life Field. Chuck Morgan's booth at Globe Life. Fans who are sitting right in front of there, I don't know if they're even aware that they are feet away from greatness.
That's right. That's right. Well, he is one of the great ones, if not the greatest. I mean, just when you come to a Rangers game, you've heard that voice for so many years, and it's just a great announcer voice.
Before we know it, Major League season will be here. First spring training games coming up next week. So
that's it. 46 seasons for Chuck Morgan. Just keeps on going.
Keeps on going. Pretty special stuff. As we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. And one part of these tournaments that started back in 2021, Globe Life Field opened in 2020. There's always been that local flavor, always at least one Texas school in the mix. Baylor, that team in this weekend tournament. And a hard drive down the line, but a nice job by Dreiling to chase it down. Ty Johnson was thinking extra bases, but Dreiling is so good with that first step reaction.
Yeah, very athletic left fielder, and had to make an adjustment there. Started kind of across the field, and then had to turn those hips and go back. That ball just kept carrying off the bat of Johnson, and Dreiling corrals yet another running grab in left field. He has been absolutely phenomenal defensively, which was where the Volunteers had a question mark about the defense, and well, he has made that outfield complete.
Braden Buchanan now, after taking a called strike, takes one up high. That's exactly what Tony Vitello, if you missed it, we had him on as our in-game interview back in the 2nd inning, and he was saying, we're really hard on the guys defensively. That caught the piece of the glove of Snead. That throw, though, is wide of the mark. Laurie had a long way to go as he tracked it down behind the bag, and Buchanan beats it out for an infield single. But Coach Vitello telling us so much of it is, can you prove you can make the play consistently out in the field?
That is the key. It does look like Snead maybe caught a piece of this. Yeah, tried to backhand it.
Would have been really tough for Laurie.
Yeah, that was a base hit, but great job by Laurie just getting to the ball and trying to make one of those crazy cross the body throws. But
congratulations to Braden Buchanan with that infield single, first career hit for the freshman.
How about the job Nate Snead has done now for the Vols, and had that shaky first inning when he came into the game back in the 3rd. Got a quick out, walked a couple of Bears, gave up the triple to Ty Johnson, resulted in a couple of runs, and he has pitched pretty clean since then, just giving up a couple of singles to Jordan and now to Buchanan.
This is now his 4th inning of work as he faces Tyree Kemp. Slider in there for a strike at 1-1. Good look at Kemp. He had his first career base hit back in the 2nd, but was picked off. Chops one to the left side. Really hard to double him. Amick for one. The return throw from Laurie not in time. It's Kemp showing off that blistering pace, even on a hot shot ground ball that could have been 2.
Yeah, elite speed from Kemp, and easily beats out the double play attempt. Vols get the lead runner, erase Buchanan off the base path. Nice job by Amick. There's also a question mark about Amick's defense. you have to sacrifice a little defense for his offense, and that has not been the case so far this weekend. He has made some outstanding plays at third base for Tennessee.
And in general, Tennessee so far just a single error in the field through now just over 2.5 games. Been a pretty rock solid group, and they've done the spectacular on a few occasions with Harrison Cayley at the plate. Down in the count 0-1. He's off, and that's a perfectly placed pitch. Strike 2 for the South Milwaukee, Wisconsin native Nate Snead in his Tennessee debut.
There's a reason why this Tennessee team is ranked 9th. It's a deep team, a lot of veterans, guys that really understand the game and play the game right. Tony Vitello said one of the hardest working teams he's coached. This guy's not afraid to get after it and grind on each other in practice, and kind of the expectation when you go to Tennessee, but this team embodies that characteristic, and they do it well.
A lot of live arms as well down in that pen. A couple of 95-mile-an-hour fastballs back to back. That 0-2 didn't miss by much either before the foul ball. It's 1-2 to Cayley. Swing and a miss. Takes a little bit off, going off speed, and Cayley, the third strikeout victim for Nate Snead. To the final 3 innings we go. Tennessee on top by 5.
You're so much more than just a landowner. You're a gardener, a groundskeeper, and a landscaper. That's why you need versatile, durable Kubota equipment.
3 bands, 1 stadium. Def Leppard, Journey, the Steve Miller Band. Together. 3 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame icons. Their biggest hits. August 12th, Globe Life Field. Tickets on sale now at DefLeppardJourney2024.com.
Sometimes you just need a little wonderful in your life. So why not go to a place made for it? Arlington, Texas. It's a city made for fun and excitement and all the things you love to do. And even some things you didn't know you loved until you came here and found them. Come see for yourself why Arlington is a world of wonderful.
There is no better place for college baseball this time of year than Globe Life Field in Arlington, Texas. And today's broadcast is brought to you by Kubota. You need equipment with more reliability and versatility built in, like Kubota BX and L Series compact tractors, rated #1 in durability and owner experience. And Shriners Children's. 6 remarkable kids have each teamed up with a participating university for the Shriners Children's College Showdown Team Fundraising Challenge. All weekend long, teams will compete to see which fan base can raise the most money in support of Shriners Children's. Go online to ShrinersShowdown.com to donate in honor of your favorite team today.
Hey, thanks for that, Brant Freeman. As we're back, going to the 7th inning, you know, that's quite the get-up, Pat. Some might say a little big boy.
I was gonna say, yeah, the old Kip's Burger big boy. Yeah, that's the look, right?
Tennessee fans, Baylor fans here in the house.
Old Rocky Top.
Oh yeah,
they are showing up tonight, just like this Tennessee offense.
Runs in each of the last 5 innings as we go to the 7th. It's Blake Burke out there and a new pitcher for the Baylor Bears. Mason Green, lefty, came in, did a really good job through 2 innings, got out of that bases loaded, nobody out jam, and it's our second look of this weekend at Ethan Calder, another lefty, and a veteran presence in the Baylor bullpen who gets a called strike on a slider.
Yeah, very similar stuff to the guy he is in relief of, Mason Green. Fastball that sits up, 80s, touched 90. Good sinking action to it. Curveball changeup. Just brings a year of experience out of that Baylor pen. Of course, we talked about Baylor little short on left-handers last season. He was the only guy to the pin that they could use in left-handed matchup situations, and Baylor has corrected that issue. They've added 6 new left-handed arms, but Calder the lone returner from that bullpen staff.
On 1 and 2, gives up a rocket right over that shifting infield of Mason Greer. Nothing he could do about it, as it's hit 109 miles an hour off the bat by Blake Burke, trying to break out of a season opening slump in a big way, and he's had back-to-back base hits.
The Baylor infield had it shifted perfectly. And Mason Greer about 20 steps into the outfield, exactly where Burke hit it, but just over his outstretched arm. And you can see both Baylor middle infielders pulled over to that second base side, and Burke hits right into the shift, but defeats it.
That was pretty good scouting, just better execution there by Blake Burke, who had struggled in the first couple of games, moved down in the order to the 7 spot from the 2 hole. Burke won for his first 10, but is 2 for 4 today. And we get a pinch hitter now for Tennessee. Brad Keylori getting pinch hit for, as it's Robin Villeneuve who steps in. The Canadian, a junior, enters for the first time. JUCO transfer from Weatherford, and he stings one to left field. That's down a base hit. Now Villeneuve has been perfect in the pinch hitter role. Comes in for the first time tonight, gets a base hit, and he's 2 for 2 this weekend.
How about that? What a luxury to have a guy off the bench that swings a bat like Villeneuve, and a couple of hits and 2 at bats. That's one way to get yourself in a lineup.
Sure thing. You can tell a lot of guys this weekend for Tennessee that are in those couple positions that aren't completely solidified, and they've, especially tonight, you think about Kavaris Tears, one of those candidates who's up right now, showing Tony Vitello what they can do.
Yeah, it's got to be difficult for Tony V to fill up that lineup card every night, and just a ton of depth in this roster. Got guys like Villeneuve and Lori, Bargo that could start and probably hit the middle of any lineup.
Tears now puts a charge into this ball. If the wall was 402 feet deep to dead center, that's probably a homer. The runner from second, Burke advances to third, as Johnson used all 407 feet out there to make the catch.
Well, Kavaris Tears bidding for his second home run of the night, and unfortunately for him, just hit it to the deepest part of the ballpark.
That was 409 on the official measuring count.
And Ty Johnson reaching up at the wall and bringing that ball down out of the air, but Tears just missing second bomb by just feet. Heads up base running by Blake Burke. Goes back and tags up, seeing Johnson make the catch, and easily scoots over to third.
Runners on the corners now with 1 out in a 10-5 game, and a wave and a miss by Ensley over the top of a changeup, looking for his first hit. Did reach on an error and scored, but 0 for 4 otherwise with a strikeout. 3 for 14 this weekend for Hunter Ensley. Showing bunt here and fouls it off. Think about overcoming adversity as well. Hunter Ensley, how rough is this? He's a freshman. Pat comes in, gets 1 AB, and then is hurt. Done for the season. Only got 1 chance as a freshman, and despite that setback, he's come on and sort of a late bloomer now as a redshirt junior. Had a huge second half of his 3rd year in a Vol uniform last season, as he watches a changeup down low and outside. He only got in 13 games, got you 16 ABs as a redshirt freshman as well. So it's taken a lot of time for Ensley to finally crack the lineup of Tony Vitello.
Yeah, and his credit has stuck around this volunteer program. You see that transfer portal used so often these days. If you don't crack a lineup, sometimes you'll see these guys just jump into the portal, and you know, it's a different deal with Tony Vitello. He says, hey, look, we love to develop our guys. We want to get them in here as freshmen, and they may not play a whole lot their freshman year, and those are just superstars, but if they'll just stick with us, we'll get them there. And that's exactly what he's shown with this Tennessee volunteer program in 7 years.
Ensley now, think about that decision to stay. He has had a couple huge moments in Vol postseason history as he waits for the 3-1. Taps it foul. All fans will remember for a long time that 2-run double he hit 14th inning at the Clemson Regional to really swing that postseason series, and then hit a 2-run homer in the Vols College World Series first game against LSU last year.
And Tony's got a great staff of guys that have been around for most of the time he's been here. As Ensley goes down swinging, but Josh Elander, the third base coach tonight, he's been with Tony V for 7 years. Now the associate head coach title he earned, and then Frank Anderson all 7 years with Tony V, and then Richard Jackson, Luke Bonfield have been there for 5 years apiece. That speaks loudly when you have a coaching staff that sticks together for that long here in college baseball, especially as good a one as you have at Tennessee, because these guys are getting offers to go other programs, and you might see Elander get a chance to become a head coach at some point, but they have stuck around.
Saw Coach Vitello there a second ago. The whole dugout for Tennessee is his lefty slugger Dylan Dreiling comes up 0 for 4 with a strikeout, and the third different lefty that Dreiling has faced tonight. Baylor's Mitch Thompson really going deep into the pen after only having the one lefty reliever last year. He's certainly going to use that luxury, Pat, now that he has it. No point in wasting all those left-handed arms, and you have so many talented, power-hitting lefty sluggers on the other side. It's a slider taken down low and inside on the first pitch.
No, and a great chance in this tournament, especially early on in the season, to get a look at a lot of these new arms. And we talk about this all the time, Ben. You see the talent, you see them maybe at high school, you see them in other programs, but you get them here and you just never know how it's going to work out. So you put them in early on, see how they handle the situation and handle the pressure, and this is where you earn more innings if you're a guy like Ethan Calder.
Calder falls behind 2-0 to Dreiling. Big swing and a miss to hit that ball to Denton.
Right out of his shoes, and fastball elevated just underneath his hands.
Goes 2-1. Now, this is the third all-time meeting between Baylor and Tennessee, and the last time they met, it was the Shriners Classic back in 2022 in Houston. As this pitch is fouled off, Tennessee, it's sort of eerie, Pat, how this has worked out. Tennessee was down in that game 4-0, down 2-0 tonight, and they came back, won the game 10-5. History repeating itself, at least so far. Yeah. Weird how that works. Seems like only in baseball. Runner on the move, and it's a foul back on 2-2. Villeneuve over there at first, Blake Burke at third.
If Calder can somehow figure out how to get out of this inning with no damage, it'll only be the second inning in the game that Baylor pitchers have held Tennessee.
But it will not be this inning. It's stroked back up the middle, and Dreiling gets a clutch hit off a lefty for the first time this season as Burke comes in to score, and Tennessee has 11 on the board.
Calder tried to go off speed, and Dreiling does a good job of staying back and taking that pitch right back up the middle. It's a good piece of two-strike hitting by Dreiling.
Snaps the 0 for 4 and allows Christian Moore to get another AB, who's been unstoppable so far. 6 for 11 this weekend. And after the lefty-lefty matchup, head coach Mitch Thompson is out. He will go ahead and get another arm out in that Baylor bullpen. About to see our 6th pitcher of the night for the Baylor Bears. And Gabe Craig, he and his big slider now come into the game, and we'll see Craig take on the tough task of trying to retire Christian Moore. Hasn't been done tonight. We'll see if Craig can pull that off when we come back in an 11-5 game.
Let it out, get it done, get it right in the fields. Let it out, get it done, get it right in the fields. Let it out. Let's get it. Done, get it right in the fields. Let it out,
has told us a lot all weekend, Pat, about if we can get a chance to see Gabe Craig, we will see an awesome slider. And hey, we finally got that opportunity here on a Sunday night.
Well, the Baylor returner, big right-hander, out of Tyler Junior College, second year at Baylor, and 6'5", 214-pounder. But that's it. You nailed it. He's low 90s with the fastball, but a wipeout slider, and has a chance to be the closer for the Baylor Bears this season. Called upon here in the 7th inning. Try to keep a lid on any more Tennessee offense. If Baylor has a chance to get back in this game, they'll need to hold Tennessee at 11 runs.
He did make 2 saves last year in 18 appearances, over 13 and a third innings. Just not a ton of save chances to come by for Baylor with the way the team struggled toward the bottom of the Big 12. You can kind of pretend, though, if you're Craig, like this is a safe situation, because if you want any chance of making a comeback, you have to retire Christian Moore, who takes a big wave and a miss, and right on cue we get that slider on the first pitch.
Yeah, that's his out pitch, and of course we'll set it up, use that slider to set up the fastball. Likes to pitch backwards.
Another slider low and outside as Villeneuve faked a steal attempt. One and one the count. Final game of the weekend. If it were to end this way, it would be the only game decided by more than 4 runs so far. Check swing and a non-offer. 2-1 the count.
Yeah, good hold by Moore. Pitch to start off on the outside corner, broke off the plate.
Just outside. There's the fastball for the first time, and Christian Moore has such a good eye at the plate. A cool 6 for 11 with 3 walks. So he's reached 9 different times in 14 appearances. Big swing there.
He had time on the slider. 3-1 delivery from Craig, and Christian Moore looked like he was sitting on it.
Such a great dual threat. 17 homers, 16 steals last year. On a 3-2 pitch, Villeneuve on the move. Check swing, and Moore offered. Cayley had to find the ball as he throws it down to first. A great job by Gabe Craig coming in. Gets the check swing, strike 3, and limits the damage to just 1 run. Stretch time in our final game of the weekend. It's Tennessee on top by 6.
You're so much more than just a landowner. You're a gardener, a groundskeeper, and a landscaper. That's why you need versatile, durable Kubota equipment.
Sometimes you just need a little wonderful in your life. So why not go to a place made for it? Arlington, Texas. Come see for yourself why Arlington is a world of wonderful.
Kane Brown in the Air Tour. Saturday, September 14th, Globe Life Field. Special guests, Cole Swindell, Locash, and Ray Lynn. Crossover superstar Kane Brown Live. So thank God I get to on sale now at KaneBrownMusic.com. Presented by AEG Presents.
Watch me. Watch me tumble, jump, and soar. When our squad is on point, we own the floor. Dazzling stunts and dances are my jam. Pain once caused issues, but they had a plan. A life-changing brace with no surgery to fear. Activity without limits, one more reason to cheer. Watch me. Industry-leading scoliosis treatment at Shriners Children's. The most amazing care anywhere.
It's been a great weekend for baseball here in the 2024 Shriners Children's College Showdown in the greater Dallas-Fort Worth area. Beautiful shots at night. It is a Sunday night, almost 10 p.m. here in Dallas. See that where there's always a lot going on, it seems like, Pat, whenever I'm here.
Never
so much to do.
A dull moment in North Texas, yeah. Beautiful skyline of Dallas, and of course we're in Arlington, about 20 miles down the road. But beautiful complex here at Globe Life Field.
A base hit to start the bottom of the 7th. That's Enzo Apodaca who gets the base knock. A little hesitation there by Blake Burke. Couldn't decide if he wanted to try to go for that ball, but it goes through, and Apodaca has his 2nd hit tonight. There is one defensive change to be made. Robin Villeneuve was the pinch hitter for Brad Keylori, the 2nd baseman. He comes out, and the replacement is Alex Perry, junior infielder at 2nd base. Meantime, Nate Snead at 64 pitches with that last offering as he misses to Hunter Simmons. So still out there trying to chew up some innings for Tennessee, who will go back home. They brought the buses down from Knoxville, so they'll bus back, take on UNC Asheville Tuesday in the home opener with a called strike in there.
Well, if the Bears want to get back in this game, here's a guy that can really get it going. Hunter Simmons has had an outstanding weekend. Number of multi-base hits, extra base hits.
And 3 of his 4 knocks have gone for extra base hits so far, Hunter Simmons. Takes that fastball inside, 2-1. And a really good multi-sport athlete out of Mansfield, Texas. He and Hunter Toplansky, as well as Gavin Brzezowski, or some of those returners you were talking about, Pat. There's only a few of them in the lineup right now, and Simmons and Brzezowski, actually both from Mansfield, were each high school teammates. There's a slider that misses outside, and Simmons is able to draw the walk. First 2 reach in this bottom of the 7th. Now time to see how long the leash is for Snead as he is in his 5th inning of relief.
Yeah, 68 pitches in, and I gotta believe he won't be out there much longer. They were trying to stretch him to 70 to 75 pitches today, and getting close to that mark. So really settled in nicely after that 3rd inning.
Hunter Toplansky, big swing and a miss. There is some action down in the Tennessee bullpen. There has been for some time now.
Yeah, first free base that Snead has given up since the 2 walks he gave up back in the 3rd inning. So see if there's a little bit of fatigue starting to develop.
Toplansky turns on this one, foul down the right field line. Some lefty action there for the Vols. 0-2 to Toplansky. Toplansky's had a lot of deep counts so far. 2 walks, worked his way back from 0-2 for a walk in the 3rd, then scored Ty Johnson's triple and struck out in the 5th. Inside there. Still pretty good velocity though for Snead, even though he's now over 70 pitches, 94 on that last fastball.
Yeah, still mid-90s with a velo, and good job by Cannon Peebles, the catcher for the Volunteers. Set up outside, had to jump inside to snag that pitch.
Poke to the right side, a chance for Perry to assist his shortstop. Moore makes the turn in time, 4-6-3 on the double play.
That time Snead goes back door with a breaking ball, and Plansky just rolls over on it. Newly inserted at 2nd base, Alex Perry. Easy double hop for him, and nice smooth turn from Christian Moore.
You always like that. You're fresh off the bench. First ball hit right at you. Nice 2 hops flipping to your teammate Christian Moore. And it's Wesley Jordan who now digs in, trying to get Apodaca home from 3rd. In an 11-5 game, Baylor hasn't scored since the 3rd as they got off to a really hot start with the bats. 2 runs apiece in the 1st and 3rd innings. With that slider missing down low and outside, 2-0. Big wave and a miss on 2-0. The coaches love the power that Wesley Jordan has. Got his first hit as a Bear earlier today. 1 for 7 now on the weekend.
Yeah, Snead throws a 2-0 slider up by 6 runs.
Yeah.
He's going to stick to what brings him here, what's successful for him, and 2-0 count. He'll still pull the string.
Does it again. 2-2. Nate Snead looking to make an impact in his fall debut. Don't tell him it's a 6-run game late on a Sunday night. He's locked in right now, trying to get out of the jam. Down and low as the count runs full to Wesley Jordan. Nearing 80 pitches now for Snead. You got to think this is the last batter. Looks to go 5 strong out of the pen. Just kept alive by Jordan on the foul tip.
Another cut fastball from Snead, and it's been a good pitch for him tonight.
Snead with those long flowing locks, that'll serve him well going to Knoxville. Another foul back. The guy who's a projected top 10 SEC draft pick in next year's draft when he's eligible in 2025.
Yeah, nice loose arm, and just got a lot of whip to it.
Good battle right now between he and Jordan.
Well, the Bears need base runners, and certainly I feel like if Jordan gets on here with this long extended at bat, that this should be the night for Snead.
High, missed him, and the long battle goes Wesley Jordan's way. Ball 4 to put runners first and third for the dangerous Mason Greer, who has homered this weekend. As Tony Vitello confers with pitching coach Frank Anderson, that's 81 pitches now for Snead.
Well, not making a move toward the step, so they're going to let Snead work his way out of this.
Yeah. This is now the 3rd time through the order for Snead. He's gotten Greer to fly out a couple times, so let him stick in there for one more batter. You do have the lefty loose in the pen, and Ty Johnson is a lefty on deck. Back to the slider, in for a call and strike.
Yeah, Greer has swung the hottest bat for the Bears this weekend, and looking to add to his hit total with, well, between he and Simmons, I think it's a toss-up, but both have had great shows here in the Shriners Classic.
Greer, who can hit from both sides, that's why you see him in there. And Tennessee's, at this point, rather would have the righty versus lefty matchup, have Greer hit from the left side than bring in the lefty and have him flip around. Especially with that power he has shown, can do it from both sides of the plate. Foul back on a curve that time, 0-2. Less velocity than that slider, which has been mid-80s.
Yeah, got away with that pitch. That was an 0-2 pitch that just kind of hung out over the middle plate, and Greer not able to square it up, but kind of a hanging breaking ball there for Snead.
Swing and a miss. Goes back to the fastball, and Greer can't catch up. What a job by Nate Snead. 5 innings out of the pen, eating up valuable innings for the Vols. As we go to the 8th inning, it's an 11-5 lead for Tennessee.
Watch me. Watch me paddle, carve, and drop in. The water is my canvas. Let the good times begin. Perfect sets and barrels I chase. Where sand becomes surf, waves set the pace. A childhood accident couldn't ruin my vibes. Thanks to one special place, I've never been more alive. Watch me. Shriners Children's. The most amazing care anywhere.
Elevate your ballpark experience with a tour of Globe Life Field and experience the home of the Texas Rangers like never before. Go behind the scenes and explore premium spaces, unique club settings, luxury suites, and more. Along the way, you'll discover rich history, impressive architecture, and fun photo opportunities around every corner. Globe Life Field's many tour offerings are sure to take your ballpark visit to the next level. For more information and to book your experience, visit globelifefield.com.
With Pie Prime by Solo Stove, you can finally think outside the cardboard box. The best pizza isn't delivered to the front door. It's made in the backyard. It doesn't come from a restaurant. It comes from you. Anywhere can be your favorite pizza spot. Any day of the week, all year long. Pie Prime is the pizza oven that's simple enough to be your first and powerful enough to be your last. Pie Prime by Solo Stove.
So far, it's been a big bounce back for Tennessee baseball after a 5-1 extra inning loss to Oklahoma last night. No issues with runners in scoring position tonight, Pat, as Tennessee has put up 11. 7 for 19 so far today, just with runners on in general. 4 hits with runners in scoring position. As they send Dalton Bargo back up to the plate. Another inning of work for Gabe Craig as we wind things down. First of 3 straight weekends of high-level college baseball from Globe Life Field in Arlington.
Yeah, Ben, no doubt. There was some frustration with that offense last night for Tennessee, and they have taken those frustrations out on this Baylor pitching staff tonight. "12 hits for the Volunteers, and 5 of those have been for extra bases, a couple of home runs.
A lot of hard hit balls in general as Dalton Bargo digs in on 2-0, takes an off-speed pitch in there for a strike. 2-1. His first start as a Vol. Got time off the bench each of the first 2 games. Has singled, scored, and walked. And absolutely mashes one down the right field line, but it hooks foul. Whew, wasn't fouled by much. 110 miles an hour off the bat.
That hooked into one of the areas that has a lot of glass in it. I don't know if that they need to check for that glass if it's broke.
You got the kids down there all scampering at that glass area you're talking about, Pat, just right below where it's the T versus BU sign.
That's it. Yeah, right into one of those boxes, and who knows, maybe a cracked pane of glass at Dalton Bargo.
Kids are trying to figure out, how do we get down there? That's a free baseball. Come on. The 2-2 swung on and missed. Back to the fastball. This time Bargo can't make contact. And Gabe Craig out there for another inning has his second strikeout.
91 mile an hour fastball from Craig, and got to respect the slider, no doubt. That's his out pitch, but there's enough velocity to get it by you if you're sitting on it.
And one more AB for Billy Amick as a homer and a triple today in 4 plate appearances, making a huge impact. 4 hits and 13 trips with 5 RBI in his first weekend as a Vol, fouling this one back. 2 of those 4 hits homers.
He's just one of these players you just enjoy watching swing the bat. It's a nice swing, just doesn't overswing, but a lot of pop. Obviously, when he puts the barrel on it, it can go a long way. We've seen that tonight. 425 shot to left field into the second deck here at Globe Life Field.
It's 0-2 on Amick. That pitch just slow and outside. Well, today's usually a huge day in the Amick household because it's Daytona Day. At least normally. Got washed out today.
Yeah, tomorrow
but
now.
Billy's dad, Lyndon, former NASCAR driver.
How about that?
Just missed on that 1-2 pitch, and it's 2-2. I saw somebody tweet today that the greatest one-sided rivalry in sports is the weather versus the Daytona 500. Just a picture of the radar in Florida.
Yeah. I think only the 3rd time in Daytona history that it's gone to Monday.
It's usually some sort of stoppage.
That's right, yeah.
But yes, it was so bad today they just move it out to Monday. So for us college baseball fans, selfishly, that's great. We were prepared to be at the ballpark all day today, not watching any of it, but we can check it out tomorrow.
Yeah, maybe 3 o'clock start time on President's Day.
2-2 in the dirt on another slider. So it's 3-2 to Amick. Yes, his dad Lyndon, driver in NASCAR, and Billy's older brother Drake had a really nice career, played college ball at South Alabama, so really good athletic family. He works himself a walk all the way back from down in the count 0-2. Amick on base for the 3rd time in 5 trips today. And respect the Baylor fans. Pat sticking around and is a proud alum. Baylor fans, they don't give in. They're sticking around here, supporting the team. You gotta love that.
Yeah, absolutely. On a Sunday night. Beautiful night. No school tomorrow, so the kids can stay up a little bit later. Yeah.
Love it. Well, that long battle goes the way of Amick on the walk, and that will be the end of the line for Gabe Craig as he goes 2/3 of an inning across a couple frames, gets a couple strikeouts as well as a walk, and a new pitcher coming in for the Baylor Bears. I'll tell you about R.J. Rouet, the lefty, when we come back. Look at some of the Baylor fans sticking around as we go to the 8th inning from Globe Life Field in Arlington with yet another lefty entering the fray. Coach Mitch Thompson trying to see what he's got with all the lefties here this weekend, and R.J. Rouet is the latest enter the fold. I think that conversation's going something like, you know, I bet you that Baylor would throw at least 5 lefties tonight, and she's going, no way. And he's like, I won the bet.
Did not have that luxury last year. Yeah, that did not happen for the Baylor Bears last season, but Mitch Thompson went out and said, hey, we got to fill that gap. We're going to recruit some lefties, and Rouet makes his debut, the 6'2", 207-pound freshman from Salina, Texas. An outstanding high school career. As a senior was 12-0 with a .8 ERA, struck out 161 in the 3rd innings.
And not bad. Could do worse. The lefty gets a changeup for a strike, goes right back to it, and Cannon Peebles is out in front.
How about that? The freshman gets his first stint in a Baylor uniform and gets a strikeout on Peebles.
That's a pretty nice pitch, too. I mean, got Peebles down to 1 knee. 3 pitches for R.J. Rouet in his first appearance, and now gets the lefty-lefty matchup in Blake Burke. Catches the outside edge with a fastball. I definitely like that strategy, though, for Mitch Thompson. He's got all these new toys, now all these lefties, and it's like, hey, let's just throw them out there.
There you go.
One of the best offenses in the country. See what they're made of.
Wind them up and go. Let's go, man.
Low and outside on the slider.
I say I have not seen many baseball numbers of number 89.
Yeah, I was trying to think. It's the last 89.
Yeah.
Nice block by Harrison Cayley, who's had a long night behind the dish tonight. Tennessee having scored runs in every inning except the first.
Yeah, you see this many arms in one game, and of course, a lot of different spins on breaking balls. Harrison Cayley's done a Admirable job behind the plate.
Kaylee right now in that early season battle with Cortland Castle for the starting catcher job. Castle was honorable mention all Big 12 last year, and Kaylee coming in, getting more of the playing time opening weekend with a high pop-up off the bat of Burke. Stays in the infield. It's Toplansky who makes the call and the catch. Nice job by R.J. Rue. Comes in. It's a strikeout and a pop-out as we go to the bottom of the 8th. First time Tennessee held without a run since the first inning.
You're so much more than just a landowner. You're a gardener, a groundskeeper, and a landscaper. That's why you need versatile, durable Kubota equipment.
Chris Stapleton's All-American Roadshow. Saturday, June 15th, Globe Life Field, with special guests Tedeschi Trucks Band and Marcus King. On sale now at Ticketmaster.com. Chris Stapleton's All-American Roadshow. New album, Higher, available now.
We've got some of the best college baseball in the country today, and this broadcast is brought to you by Kubota. You need equipment with more reliability and versatility built in, like Kubota BX and L Series compact tractors, rated #1 in durability and owner experience. And Shriners Children's. 6 remarkable kids have each teamed up with a participating university for the Shriners Children's College Showdown Team Fundraising Challenge. All weekend long, teams will compete to see which fan base can raise the most money in support of Shriners Children's. Go online to ShrinersShowdown.com to donate in honor of your favorite team today.
As we update you one last time on all the donation numbers, Tennessee entering today, fan base who donated the most money toward Shriners Children's. We are at $297,513. They were estimating, and how good is this? I mean, talk about people who know what they're doing here. They've done this a few years, the Shriners Foundation. They were like, yeah, probably right around 300,000, and true to form.
Oh, come on now.
297,513. We need a late push, though.
2,500 more. Who can get us over the top? Dustin Johnson said, hey, 300K was our goal, and we're almost there.
Almost there. Been a great showing.
Man, thank you to all the fans who have given this weekend. Great cause here for Shriners Children's Hospitals.
Pretty special stuff as we're into the bottom of the 8th. 11-5 game and a called strike taken by Ty Johnson. New pitcher in. It's a guy who went viral last night for all the right reasons, of course. Chris Stamos, the lefty who caught the pop-up bunt. It's a swing and a miss here. Pop-up bunt off the bat of Jackson Willits. Threw back to Christian Moore at short, who stepped on the base to force out Kendall Pettis and then tagged Scott Mudler. First triple play since 1997 for Tennessee.
But the difference is tonight, back with his own glove.
That's very true. And
there it is.
No, not really sure what exactly happened. He was not allowed to use his glove. You see it right there. I mean, nothing looks all that out of the ordinary.
Yeah, must have gotten the okay from the umpiring crew tonight that glove was legal.
Swing and a miss. Gets Ty Johnson out in front of a nasty slider for out number 1. So we had to borrow Xander Sechrist's teal glove last night. That was the glove he made that catch in that started the triple play.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I could guess is that the umpiring crew last night felt like the glove was not dark enough. But even though it's a dark gray or at least kind of a gunmetal type gray glove, but yeah, that glove got tossed. Tony Vitello was not happy about that, but as it turns out, the teal glove from Xander Sechrist now has made Tennessee history.
All worked out. 0-2 count to Braden Buchanan as we see how it unfolded last night, in case you missed it. What a play it was.
How about that? The dive at the front end of the play. I mean, that's obviously an athletic play by Stamos, and get up and know exactly where to go with that ball. And tonight, not needing to dive for anything. Right now, he's just throwing BBs by the bats of the Baylor Bears.
Dealing with a fastball past Buchanan. 2 quick outs in the bottom of the 8th.
Now, 4-pitch mix from Stamos, and the grad transfer from Cal. Be a big part of this Volunteer bullpen. Fastball upper 80s, but slider, curveball, changeup, and just has a really good feel for all those secondary pitches.
Baylor will avoid the lefty-lefty matchup, bring a pinch hitter on Will Pendergrass, who started each of the first 2 nights for Baylor. Pinch hits for Tyreek Kemp. Pendergrass 1 for 8 over the last 2 nights. Taps this one to third. Amick backs up on it, now charges, makes a low throw that's dug out nicely by Blake Burke. A lightning fast 1-2-3 inning for Chris Stamos, who's had quite the weekend to remember here in Arlington. 1 more inning to go in opening weekend from Arlington. It's coming up next.
Watch me. Watch me shine with every snap. Born to move fans, to cheer and clap. 2 different legs, that's how I play. One built from science to help me on the deck. Between these lines, I'm all heart and muscle. Don't stare too long, you'll miss the hustle. Watch me. Pioneers in prosthetic technology at Shriners Children's. The most amazing care anywhere.
Globe Life Field is your home for college baseball with 3 full weekends of action starting February 16th at the home of the Texas Rangers. It all starts with the Shriners Children's College Showdown presented by Kubota, featuring Baylor, Texas Tech, Oklahoma, Oregon, Tennessee, and Nebraska. Next is the Kubota College Baseball Series with Arkansas, Oklahoma State, Michigan, and Oregon State in Weekend 2, and TCU, Texas A&M, Arizona State, and USC for Weekend 3. To get tickets and learn more, visit globelifefield.com/collegebaseball.
You're so much more than just a landowner. You're a gardener, a groundskeeper, and a landscaper. That's why you need versatile, durable Kubota equipment.
But we are back for the final inning, and we cannot thank our crew enough, Pat. It has been a long 3 days, a lot of great baseball. Thanks to everybody, all the camera operators, replay directors behind the scenes. I want to thank everybody. Hey, there we go. Give us a wave.
Thumbs
thank
up.
you so much. Everybody doing a great job behind the scenes here. All our camera operators, Pranav Bont, Wade Reeves, Ed Francis, Jimmy Brandt, Graham Rayner, Jeff Turner, all doing such a great job. With Roman Montoya, Austin Littleton, AJ Godinez, James Goodlow, all part of the crew here. Merrill Posey, Jeff Oswald, part of the replay crew as well, giving us so many great shots of all the action tonight. And down in the truck, Kerry Deeringer, Nate Maddox, Scott Daly, along with our lead producer Lucas Haskins and director Don Cardone. It takes a lot to pull off 9 college baseball games in 3 days.
Oh man, tireless
so grateful.
workers. Yeah, long days, and this is a professional crew. We've had a great time up in the booth. You guys have covered all the angles for us, and can't thank you enough. But Don Cardone and his team, welcome back to baseball, Don. Good to have you
no doubt,
back in a real sport.
Don, a big league vet. Great to have him with us this week, as it's Alex Perry. Is that defensive replacement into hit here as he fouls it off. 2-2 as we start the 9th inning, and another inning as well for Rue, the lefty. Oh, and the beauty of it too, Pat, this is already a Herculean task to pull off for any production team, but it's not over. Now we go back-to-back weekends, or right back here next 2 weekends. It's chopped to the left side. Toplansky with the throw across the diamond and retires Perry 5-3 on the putout.
Yeah, speaking of triple plays, how about triple weekends?
There you go.
Yeah, you got the Shriners College Showdown this weekend in Kubota for the next 2 weekends. We've got some great college baseball teams coming back to Arlington next couple of weekends, and of course you can catch everything here on Flow Sports. But a lot of good baseball left before the end of February.
Even some midweek games in the mix as well. So it's 24 games combined over 17 days, 16 teams. We'll be back next weekend. It'll be Brant Harrington and UPAT on the call next weekend. Arkansas, Oklahoma State, Michigan, Oregon State are here. And then 4 more teams come in the first weekend in March. I'll be with Ty Harrington that weekend. TCU, A&M, USC, and Arizona State. So pretty darn good baseball.
Oh, man. It's, you know, those regional fields here in February to start this college season. And, of course, all these teams benefit because when we talk about as you look down towards the end of the season and the RPI comes into play, a lot of teams will look back at these first few weekends of the series and the season and say, man, sure, I'm glad we played that type of talent, that type of competition. Not only did it help us get better, but certainly boosted those numbers that the NCAA selection committee looks at.
And it's Tiers here who draws a 4-pitch walk. I have a feeling we might be speaking with Kavares with Arlienza Peroni after the game. And after all the success going forward that so many teams who have come here to start the season have had, no shock, right, that you keep seeing stronger and stronger fields. I remember even going back to a couple of years ago speaking with some of the guys at Rev Entertainment who are in charge of booking these teams and securing their slots, where they were saying teams all over the place were reaching out to them trying to schedule 2026, 27, and they were having to tell teams, hang on guys, we're not that far yet. We'll try to fit you in when we can, but a lot of demand for teams across the Big 10, Big 12, SEC, and Pac-12.
Oh, no doubt. Dustin Johnson, who handles those duties for Shriners, says, man, I've got to turn teams down. They call me asking to get into the Shriners tournament. And they get their pick of the litter every year. They pick out some outstanding teams. And these, of course, these tournaments are done in 2, 3, 4 years in advance, Ben, as you're talking about. So it never ceases to amaze me how the matchups come about and how good the competition is every year.
Tennessee, if they're able to hang on, would make it 4 of the 6 teams going 2-1. Shows you how competitive it has been as Hunter Ensley looks at a 2-1 pitch. Chops it foul down the third base line.
Well, the Bears have pitched Ensley well. He's probably one of the few guys in this lineup that has yet to have a hit for Tennessee.
Chops another one foul. Dreiling was the only other one who did not have a base hit, but got a single in the 7th inning to end his 0-for-4 drought. But everybody has at least reached. Ensley reached and scored on an error back in the 4th. Another chopper. This one handled by Toplansky. Goes to second for 1. The turn by Greer is in time. Nicely done by the Baylor defense on a close play. Coach Tony Vitello wants the umpires to take another look. We'll see if they oblige.
Looks like they will. Yeah, umpires coming together here. So inning not quite over for the Bears defensively. Just by the blind eye, I thought the throw just was in time to get Ensley, but a really smooth turn there between Toplansky and Greer at second base. Vitello has a couple of challenges, hasn't used one yet, so why not?
You don't take them with you.
That's right.
They stay right here in Arlington.
Don't go on the bus.
Yeah. Hunter Toplansky, I've been so impressed with his defense at third, and a team in Baylor that's really looking to grow on the defensive side of the ball to help out their young pitchers. Toplansky's made a lot of really nice plays. Here's another look.
Yeah, he's just really improved defensively for Baylor. And the first replay that we're looking at, really hard to tell where Ensley's foot is in relation to the ball, but
if I'm having to make a determination, I would say safe. Again, it's so, those images so slow.
Camera. Yeah.
Can you say with 100% determination, since the call on the field was out, that you can overturn that?
That's the high first base camera, and
I would lean safe, though.
I'm leaning safe as well. I'm with you, Ben.
A lot of folks were a little frustrated with the number of reviews we had last night in the Tennessee-Oklahoma game. But it's been really a really cleanly umpired game outside of the challenges and some of the reviews, and maybe you chalk that up to just it is early season. You're in a big league ballpark, a lot of bang plays as well, but the actual the balls and strikes part of it has been really consistent all week. You haven't had a whole lot of teams or a whole lot of pitches where teams are really upset on calls.
Yeah, no, it has been great. The Crews have done a great job here. And the one count that was forgotten, and they got the count wrong one time last night. That caused a little bit of delay, but
it was one of those. It's like the double whammy because it happened in a 4-hour game,
right.
And yeah, we can't let them totally off the hook for that.
That's right. That's right. Outside of that one, it's been really well called, really clean games.
It's like the one drive you miss hit is just a slice 80 yards left. That's how I. Not to be too harsh, but yeah, well, it was rough.
Hey, we've seen it happen in the big leagues, right?
We have, yeah.
Get that wrong every once in a while, but
no doubt. It's the crew of Blake Felix, Matt McKendry, A.J. Wendell, and Shane Matheny umpiring the final game of this tournament. They've worked really hard as well. They've been, all those guys were here Friday, working games Friday, Saturday, and now today.
A veteran crew. And he is safe.
Assuming that's the last challenge, Pat, you can at least go out. You and I can go out winners.
There you go.
We're correct. So fielder's choice instead of a double play. Tier's still out anyway, but just 5-4 on the fielder's choice. And Ensley just reaches. We get a pinch hitter. Actually, we will not. Dylan Dreiling was in the dugout for a second, but now he's coming out. It looks like he will be digging in there for yet another AB, and this is pretty funny now for Dreiling. This is his 6th at bat and has faced 4 different lefties today.
Well, it doesn't happen very often, but when it does, doesn't matter for Dreiling. He just gets in the box and hits. That's what he does.
You got to hit the last time after starting 0 for 4. No better way to get experience, right, than seeing all those different lefty arms. Dreiling takes a curve in there for a strike, 1-1.
A nice breaking ball from Rouet, and that's the out pitch for him against Dreiling, if he can spot that breaking ball up.
Fastball just outside on 1-1. Dreiling's had a tournament to remember. Former Kansas High School State Player of the Year 2 years ago as a senior from Hayes, Kansas. Just misses again on the fastball, 3-1.
A little bit of a mental reset for the pitcher as well. When you run off the field, think like you had the double play, and
sure,
you got to reset quickly and get back, get focused on the glove. And
big wave and a miss. Jams him up and in. (3-2) fouled off. Earlier today, Texas Tech, they set the new high scoring mark for the tournament this weekend. They scored 11. And that 11-7 win over Oregon. Tennessee matching that. So they're looking for that new superlative as we end the weekend.
Yeah, Oklahoma with an exciting win over, well, in the early game today.
Great game earlier.
Yeah, exciting win over Nebraska.
Walk here for Dreiling. So he's reached each of his last 2 appearances against lefties. First and second for Christian Moore. And that will get Mitch Thompson out of his dugout one more time. So he kept his lefty in long enough to face Dreiling, and after the second walk of the inning, looks like one more pitcher coming in. Pitcher number 8 for the Baylor Bears. A 6-run game in the 9th inning. As the Bears continue to go to new arms out of the pen, and another JUCO transfer set to enter. It's Drew Leach, the righty, native of Houston, Texas. He comes in, Rouet out. We'll tell you about Leach next. with the Bears after pitching in 4 games as a freshman. Pat got hurt, didn't pitch all of his sophomore year, and then left the team, went to Alvin Community College, where he had a really nice JUCO season, and now he's back with Mitch Thompson in a Baylor uniform.
Yeah, good to see Drew Leach back, and of course a local Houston product. The sinker slider changeup is what he features, and fastball upper 80s, will touch 90 with it. It's a good arm side run with that fastball.
He gets a swing and a miss on Christian Moore. You can tell how much respect Mitch Thompson has for Moore on the other side, because 3 pitching changes tonight have come with Moore due up. He skies one down the first base line. Long run for Buchanan and Greer. There's room in foul territory, and Greer makes the catch. Actually, that is Posey, defensive sub, who just came into the game. Cole Posey makes the nice catch in foul territory, and we go to the bottom of the 9th. Last ups for Baylor as this first weekend of the Shriners Children's College Showdown presented by Kubota. Shriners, the presenting sponsor this opening weekend. We'll have the Kubota College Baseball Series each of the next 2 weekends, all right here on Flow Sports from Globe Life Field in Arlington. Final ABs for the Bears in an 11-5 game. It's Cole Posey, guy who was a big part of the team last year, returning starter, New Mexico transfer. He got in as a defensive sub last inning, made that nice catch there down the first base line, and we'll get the AB right here. First at bat of the season for Posey, who fouls it off. Had a 15-game hit streak last year, and somebody who had pretty good numbers, Pat, 279 overall, but not in Mitch Thompson's lineup at least to start 2024.
Yeah, played 53 games, 47 starts for Baylor last year, and yeah, part of the upper part of the lineup most of the year. But, maybe struggling to get off the bat this season, and that strikeout by Stamos with the 9th.
He chases one up and out of the zone. It's been a great showing from Stamos. 3 strikeouts in 4 faced.
He likes to finish hitters up with that fastball and executes that pitch well. Gets it above the hands of Posey for out number 1.
So for another pinch hitter, even though Posey technically not a pinch hitter, he was a defensive sub. We get our first look at Cade Fletcher, the Oklahoma transfer. Was a backup there, only got 1 at bat last season. Takes a called strike. Cade Fletcher making his Baylor debut right here as he pinch hits for Enzo Apodaca. Watches the 1-1 come just outside on a curve. Check swing, that's in there for a strike. 2-2.
Well, Ben, Baylor obviously has some work to do and leave this tournament possibly 0-3 if Tennessee completes this 6-run lead here in the 9th. But great coaching staff over at Baylor. They'll get things done. It's just a matter of continuing to improve this talent, continue to develop players, but the fastball just misses inside. A good group of guys. Darren Thomas there in the center. James Leverton, the pitching coach, there on the right of your screen, and a couple of Baylor guys that played for Coach T back in the day. Zach Dillon, the first base coach, Jim Blair, the third base coach, and Brian Furlong, director of player development. Great staff. They'll get things turned.
Sure thing.
It's a matter of time.
Cade Fletcher in his Bear debut draws a walk. You as an alum, Pat, you know all about the progression of the Baylor program over the years and all the tremendous history they've had. And I know it's been a tough couple of years, but you got to like what you've seen. We've seen so many bright spots too, even though the wins haven't come. And Mitch Thompson told us that easily a factor when you play such high-level talent. We could easily go 0-3, but still like where we're at in general. And both things can be true.
Yeah, no doubt. And we've seen teams leave this tournament at Shriners 0-3 and make it to the College World Series. So that's not out of the question. This is a Baylor team that is improved. You can see it up and down the lineup, and much more depth this year. There's been a lot more competition for positions. The bullpen is much deeper. So yeah, I think most folks that know this program well know that Coach Thompson is the right guy for the moment, and just a matter of time.
Swing and a miss by Hunter Simmons. Well, it's a nice mix too. You've got some of the returners like Simmons who provide that solid veteran core, but then a whole lot of guys who are hungry, a lot of transfers who believe they can make an instant impact. Fouled off on 1-2. Especially now with the Big 12 tournament expanding to 10 teams. It was 8 of the 9 that made it. Now it's 10 of the 13 that will make it, coming right back here to Globe Life in May. As the fastball misses outside, just more opportunity here with how deep the league is. If you're Baylor, I mean, Oklahoma was a great example of this last year. Just to get into the tournament, you'll end up with enough quality wins where your resume likely going to be strong enough to at least get you in the mix for an at-large.
Yeah, Sooners had a losing conference in Big 12 and still made it.
Toplansky coming up as Simmons swings and misses on a curveball.
Yeah, Hunter Simmons has had a good weekend. He's made some noise in that Baylor lineup, and big things ahead for that young man.
Toplansky really good as well, especially with the glove. His fastball misses high and outside to Toplansky. 0-for-2 with a couple walks and a run scored today. Does have 2 hits and an RBI on the opening weekend. That guy had a 25-game on-base streak. He just knows how to get on base. Really good eye at the plate. That was last year's 25-game on-base streak. Part of a 13-game hitting streak as well within that. And he's at 1-1 as Stamos tries to finish this thing off for Tennessee. Flied into right, back goes Tiers, still ranging back, has room and makes the catch. Tennessee wins 11-5, and by virtue of run differential, Tennessee is your 2024 Shriners Children's College Showdown champion with a 2-1 record.
The outstanding showing for the Vols, and I think everything is advertised, and they came in obviously 9th ranked in the country and lived up to that billing. That is a deep team, should make a great run in the SEC, an exciting team to watch both offensively and on the mound.
Even with the slip up last night, the struggles with runners in scoring position, you figured it would be a very motivated bunch, especially at the plate. And we saw that in spades tonight, 11 runs on 12 hits. And they showed they can punish you up and down the lineup, and no better example of that than Kavaris Tiers, who was the number 9 hole hitter and had a 3-run home run to give Tennessee the lead, which ultimately held up.
Yeah, no doubt player of the game, and we'll get to hear from him here in just a moment. But Bears have something to prove now as they leave Arlington And these guys play with a chip on their shoulder. I'm sure Mitch Thompson will get them going. They'll get back to Waco, get back to work. But great showing by all these teams in the Shriners Showdown this weekend. A lot of competitive games. And, man, as you mentioned earlier, really no blowouts. Every game was competitive, at least, you know, even this game, as you look at the 11-5 game, it was early on. It was very competitive.
You see our pal Kaysen down there as well, the Shriners Children's team ambassador, a part of the crew as well this weekend. And getting set to send it down to Leanza Peroni. She's standing by with our player of the game in Kavaris Tears. So we're going down there in a second. There's a look at the whole Vol team and our Shriners hero Kaysen as well, as we go down to Leanza. She's standing by with Kavaris Tears.
Tennessee gets the win over Baylor. Couldn't get the bat swinging last night. What was the conversation after the game to make sure that you could turn it around tonight?
Our main thing was just making sure that we came out today, stuck with our approach, and kind of toned down the swings a little bit and just try to do whatever we could to get the next guy to the next base and then end up getting base runners on the home plate.
Nearly $300,000 was raised this weekend for Shriners Children's. What does it mean to you and the guys to be a part of this weekend?
I think it's very special. You know, there's a lot of people that's not as fortunate as we are, and it just feels good to be able to give back to them and help them any way we possibly can.
Home runs, triple plays, and a pair of wins heading back to Knoxville. What has been your favorite part about playing here at Globe Life?
I would definitely say the atmosphere. Just being here, playing in a major league stadium around a bunch of people, especially our fans. I want to thank them. That's probably my best memory and the best way to go out.
Congratulations. Good luck this season.
All right, thanks, Leanza, for your great work all weekend on the post-game interviews. As the Tennessee Vols, Tennessee, Texas Tech, Oregon, Oklahoma, all 2-1, but by virtue of that run differential, Tennessee, they get to take the photos as team champions. Here, Pat, for a third straight year, just an absolute pleasure getting to work with you. We've had a blast here all weekend.
Oh, man, Ben, great stuff, man. You've done a great job. It's so much fun calling these games with you and watching these teams compete.
Well, one last time, no doubt. Can't wait to watch you and Brant do it again next weekend here. We have a lot more early season baseball. As for Pat Combs and our entire outstanding Flow Sports production team, I'm Ben Wilson, one final time from Globe Life Field in Arlington. This has been a presentation of Rev Entertainment and Flow Sports. The final score and our final game, Tennessee 11 and Baylor 5.